We are live.
Alright. You ready to go then?
I'm good to go. I don't know about them, but
Yep, you two should be all ready.
Happy days. I'm gonna turn you up a wee bit, Hexed. You're a bit quiet for me. Right. We ready then?
I'm good to go.
Just tell me whenever to do the countdown and we'll get started.
You two can yeah, let's count you down. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Alright, this is Pokemon Sapphire any percent glitchless, meaning, you know, I'm not going to be doing any fancy stuff, I'm just going to be playing through the game as fast as I possibly can. So I set my options before I actually hit new game. What I basically did was I just set my text speed to go faster, I turned off move animations, and I made this battle style set. I'm choosing the girl. I believe there's less dialogue for the male as the
Less
professor's assistant, and then it makes the rival fights a lot easier. So commentating with me, I have G Hines.
Yo.
He's going to be explaining all of the technical stuff that I don't have a very good grasp of. So
Little tiny stuff, you know.
all the fancy stuff.
Just numbers. There's really not technical. I mean, there's technical stuff in terms of frame data, but otherwise, it's just a bunch of numbers.
A bunch of numbers that I haven't memorized.
Yeah, well, you know. That's why Xarian has the basement, so.
So at the start, we're going to actually grab the PC potion.
Crucial.
Definitely, we're probably going to need it. It's so unlikely that we won't need it.
Yeah, it's honestly, I mean, it's definitely necessary in terms of just your potion count in Sapphire is pretty sketchy, so.
I should also note that this game is extremely difficult, and it's maybe not the best choice for a marathon, but there's going to be a lot of saving in this run. I mean a lot. I'm going to be saving before...
Since you can save it, it's, you know, it's pretty safe, but...
Well, I'm going to be saving before literally every single gym leader fight, and a few really, really stupid fights. There's a fight about 40 minutes in, called Cool Trainer Brook, which I will make a part of their appearance. I'm probably also going to be saving for the first gym fight in Roxanne's gym.
Oh yeah, I
Roxanne's
forgot.
gym leader.
That's smart, yeah. Do that.
Because they're all 1 in 16 chances to go wrong, I'm pretty sure, but there's like 5 of them, so...
Well, yeah, I mean, the gym fight in Roxanne's gym is, I think it's probably like 85% to win, but because, you know, you can crit with Wingle or whatever, you know, and then it, you know, there's different ways to lose, but...
So we're going to be RNG manipulating our stats of our Mudkip, which is going to be our main Pokemon for the first hour and a half, really.
Yep.
But you'll hear some beeps here as I try to time the input. So I am going to be showcasing no encounter manip first, if I get one of the Kips, and it seems like I have. Oh dear.
Did you get it?
I got a low roll, and it lived, okay.
It lit? No. Okay. Yeah, so basically, yeah, since we're manipulating the Kip on the frame. You know, there's basically two kips that are right next to each other. We want one of them, the other one, and you can't tell. You know, we try to avoid checking stats, and if we want to get the no encounter manip, then we can't check stats because just basically the frame window that we need to hit in order to get to the encounterless window that we want. We have to skip checking stats, and obviously it's fastest not to check stats anyway. So you are going to do the encounterless though?
I'm just gonna check this quickly to see if this is actually the kip. I'm pretty sure it is. It is. But that sucks that I didn't get the encounterless, but you saw I got
okay.
2 really, really low rolls. That's really unlikely to happen.
Yeah, that usually doesn't happen. Because obviously the frame that he hits, that he confirms his move, is also, you know, it will set the amount of damage that he does. So the outcomes that, you know, when you're manipulating the mudkip, you tend to see the same outcomes. But yeah, so normally he would time the input where he clears the experience text in order to start the encounterless manip, and then he would time an input leaving Birch's lab. He would time the input to clear the last text box for Professor Birch before buffering his exit, and then buffering the rest of the movement. And this was the encounterless for Sapphire was developed by Epic Dude Guy, who's super cool Sapphire homie. Doesn't really run anymore because, you know, that's not fun, but, you know, all the research is fun, so.
So I only got 1 encounter going up to Rhino, which it isn't terrible. Normally I get 2.
Oh, that's 2.5 is probably average.
But this first rival fight, nothing can really go wrong. I should know that the 2 main moves that we are going to be using for Mudkip are Tackle and Mudshot, both of which have 95% accuracy, so it's entirely possible that I'll just miss and die.
Yeah. So back in the day when we used to run minus defense Mudkips, this fight used to be a lot riskier. The stats that you got the stats. Oh, you already checked. I forgot. The stats that he's using, it's going to be a naughty Mudkip. And for those of you familiar with, you know, Pokemon, obviously the IVs range from 0 to 31, and this Mudkip is it's insane that it even exists. Like,
it's just ridiculously good.
Yeah, well, first of all, it's ridiculously good, but it's also available right after a soft reset. So because he has a dead battery, you know, you have your little battery that regulates the clock events in the game, but we want a dead battery for the manipulation so that the game always starts on the same seed. And this Mudkip has generated 680 frames from a soft reset, and the stats are, the IVs are 24 HP, 27 attack, 10 defense, which is kind of low, but it's not a minus defense nature, so it's not bad. Perfect special attack, so 31 special attack, 31 special defense as well, which is good because it's a minus special defense nature, and speed is 30, which is just 1 off perfect. So naughty being plus attack minus special defense, so super good kit.
This is what I mean by he's here for all the numbers, because I really did not know the IVs at all.
Yeah, you gotta know the IVs, because it's, you know, when you're dealing with garbage kips for years and then you're out, one of the, so I don't know, I mean, you kind of came around after the RTA switch,
Oh
didn't
yeah,
you?
I've only been around for a year. But
Right. So basically, for the longest time, we were not allowed to save and reset in Pokemon runs because it's kind of a historical thing. Because we used to also use in-game time as our metric for competition, but around 2016 we started to allow save quits. So that's the only way that you can get this Mudkip, and without that, Sapphire has to just the manipulation is a lot worse, and you don't have access to the same types of stats.
So remember at the very start of the run, whenever I was like, it's highly unlikely that I'm not going to need to use the potion. I don't need to use the potion. So, because I'm on 17 HP, so I don't need to use it.
Yeah, that was a good rival fight, yeah.
I would heal anything under 15, I would heal. But this fight is ridiculously stupid. This Zigzagoon is a speed tie, and there we go. Speed ties occur whenever your speed is the exact same as the Pokemon you're fighting, and it's a 50-50 chance who wins.
Right.
So he won the speed tie and used Growl, which decreases my attack. So my tackles are going to be doing a lot less now.
So it's a 4-hit KO normally, if you don't get any attack drops. And actually, even if he drops your attack on one of the later turns, as long as you got good rolls in the early, you know, in the first couple turns, then you could still 4-shot. Unfortunately, because of the speed tie, I mean, so his AI is random. He has Tail Whip, Growl, and Tackle, which means you are 1 in 6 to get a first turn growl before you can even attack, because it's 50-50 to lose the speed tie, and 1 in 3 to get growl. So that's the worst outcome, and unfortunately he got it. So kind of nothing you can do about that. But
oh my god, I've got so many encounters.
yeah, one of the unfortunate things actually is that you cannot catch a flyer on this route. So back in the day, I mean, we used to obviously, you know, just catch things randomly. There wasn't as much manipulation involved because we couldn't save quit, but all these encounters are completely useless quit. And an early experience isn't really useful in Sapphire. You'll see in like Emerald, and I think I think there's some use to Japanese or early experience in Japanese Sapphire because there are some language differences, but in English Sapphire, he doesn't really need any experience.
So literally every encounter I get is just 10 seconds. It's just waving goodbye to 10 seconds.
Yeah. He's going to be entering the Pokemon Center here. You know, we'll see what the purpose of that, you know, later on.
You see that in about 50 minutes or so while I'm doing that.
Yeah.
But in the gym here, we have kind of our secondary rival, Wally, and we have to show him how to catch Pokemon. So,
yep.
This is a really, really pointless cutscene for anyone who has ever played a Pokemon game before. But
hey, this is a bathroom break, dude.
This cutscene is about a minute long, so if you need to do anything, like go grab a bit of food or something, this is a really good opportunity to do it. And it's also your only opportunity to do it in the run, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
So, it's really good. A little bit of trivia, this Ralts can actually die, depending on the rolls that Zigzagoon gets and if it crits or not.
Actually, it can't crit.
Pardon?
Crits are disabled for the fight.
Are you sure? I'm pretty sure I've seen it crit before.
Nah, crits are disabled. So you have to get like, I can't remember the stats. I mean, basically it randomly generates stats for the Zigzagoon and the Ralts, and then obviously there's damage ranges involved in the actual attack. So you have to get just same. It has to be like minus defense, 0 IV, and you have to be plus attack. You know, 31 ID or some crap like that.
And then you have to get really good damage rolls and then dies. And if Ralts does die, it just continues on as if he caught it.
Exactly. Yeah. So one thing to note, you know, I feel like there's not a lot of crossover between Pokemon speedrunning and maybe some other speed communities, but you know, obviously a lot of people play Pokemon casually, but for those not familiar, there is damage variance. I guess this is common to RPGs, but there's damage variance for all the attacks. So basically, the game generates a maximum roll based on attack, defense, stats, and also base power and type matchup, obviously. And then the damage variance is basically 85% to 100%. It applies obviously a multiplier. He's going to save here to do a manipulation, which this just changed the game. I'm blown away. We couldn't do this for so long, but this definitely helps things, because later he'd have to catch a flyer later if he didn't do this. And so based on the NPC movement, he's going to do a certain movement pattern. He saw the first NPC didn't move when he passed it, and then
I missed the match.
Did you miss the window? That's okay. So this was also developed by Epic Good Guy, but basically, obviously, you know, you're trying to go through the game with just one Pokemon because that's fastest, but you do need to catch certain Pokemon because HMs, you know, you need to be able to use Cut or whatever, or Rock Smash or Strength or Fly. We don't use Cut in this run because it's not required to beat the game, but so basically there's 5 frames, I think, that Robbie routed where you can get this Wingull, and based on the 2 NPCs that he passes, he'll do a slightly different movement pattern and try and get the encounter in a certain tile. He's going to name the Wingull right. I think there was an incentive to name the Wingull. So basically, he also has to time the input that he goes into the bag, because it's actually really annoying. This is like one of the most difficult things about making Gen 3 manips is in the battle. RNG moves twice as fast. So basically every frame RNG is advancing twice as opposed to once, which means but then in the bag menu it only advances normally, so one advancement per frame. So he actually also has to time when he enters the bag, not just the frame that he throws the ball. So good saving for Pooch, very smart.
This fight is ridiculously stupid. This Pidgeotto that we're about to fight is 2 levels higher than us. That automatically puts us at a pretty big disadvantage. But this thing is 5 hits to kill it. As we've discussed. Oh, perfect. I was literally about to say, tackle is 95% and we miss.
Oh, did you miss first turn tackle?
I missed first turn. And then, perfect demonstration of this fight. This Pidgeotto has Sand Attack, which lowers our accuracy even further. So, this is literally just spam tackle and hope that you hit it.
Yeah, it's a 5-hit KO. It's guaranteed 5-hit KO. It's pretty bad.
It's honestly, it's easy if it just spams Hoil, which you sometimes get. If you're lucky enough to get it, it's amazing. But I should have killed that turn.
Depending on what happens, like going into this, like there's basically HP and management is really important in most Pokemon. But obviously there's only so much that you can do to manage your HP. So, but the current fight that he's gonna want certain HP for is Roxanne. It's not that he needs certain HP, it's just that there's certain HPs.
It's preferable.
Yeah, there's certain HPs that are just easier to get a better fight with, but he can't really do much about it. There's like very little because of the fact that you don't have access to many moves right now. You pretty much are just at the mercy of the RNG of the fight. So
the HP that I have actually at the moment is my favorite to be at. I love being at 17 at the end.
This is good HP actually. Yep, this is good HP.
We should probably discuss the fact that I have just running minute 3 people.
Oh crap! Yeah, sorry. So one of the big time variances in Pokemon speedruns obviously is optional trainers. Fight only the trainers that are required to beat the game. There are going to be some that we fight anyway for experience. But one thing that is unique, actually, Gen 3 is unique amongst all Pokemon speedruns in this respect, so it makes it actually a pretty cool speed game. Emerald and Sapphire. Basically, when you run to certain tiles that are surrounding an optional trainer that can turn in multiple directions, it will. Well, first of all, I mean, this is a cool strat. I just have to point this out. He just caught the Wingull. It's specifically a plus special attack, level 5 Wingull, which means it already knows Water Gun.
God damn it.
And did you crit it?
No, I accidentally used Cryo instead of Water Gun.
Oh, dude.
It doesn't matter, like, because you rolled 10 anyway, so.
Yeah, that's cool. Anyway, so this is partly why Robbie developed this strat, but because of the stats of the Wingull, he's able to actually hit the Geodude down to only 1, I think it's like 2 or 3 HP. He can hit it to 4. I mean, obviously the variance of the damage, you can make it so that this doesn't work. It's like 95% to 2-hit KO, but you're able to finish him off with a Mud Slap after you sack the Wingull, and the Wingull doesn't get any experience then. One way that you can lose a run here is if the Wingull crits that Water Gun, then it will kill Geodude and it will get the experience, so you cannot continue because Mudkip needs that experience. And then the other way that you can lose a lot of time is if Geodude crits the Wingull, because you have to switch into the Wingull in order for Mudkip to get the experience, so you have to have already led with Mudkip. Well, I guess you don't have to do that, but it would just be slower to switch Wingull to front. You would just never do that, so yeah, so you switch into it. What we used to do, and what Emerald still does, is Mud Slap that Geodude 6 times. Yeah, you literally just Mud Slap it 6 times, and what the problem with that isn't that it's slow. I mean, it is slow. It's definitely slower, and it more chance for you to get hit, but basically because Mud Slap's lowering his accuracy, so he's more likely to miss tackle, but you don't rely on him missing tackle, so the variance in the number of potions you use, because you're gonna have to heal, he does like 6 to 8, I think, so he's doing 7 reliably, and that's a decent amount of damage when you only have 30-some HP. So the Wingull strat cuts down on variance significantly. We don't really even need to route any potions for that fight, so we're able to preserve them for later in the early game.
I would like to point out I switched Water Gun to the first slot, so to use Water Gun, all I have to do now is spam A.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the reason we spam Water Gun or Mud Slap is because we don't have it until level 10. So.
Yeah. Water gun is what we'll be using quite a bit from here on. So it would just take a lot of time constantly switching to slot 4 to use it.
Yeah.
So this Roxanne fight's actually gone pretty well so far. I'm at really good HP right now.
The reason why 29 is good is because he's gonna growl, which means Rock 2 and Rock. Oh, you actually got the 8 roll. That's fine. And for some reason she seems to use Harden more after you growl. But Rock Tomb will do 12 to 15 if you don't growl, which is pretty significant. You're always faster than her because you manipulate the mudkip every time. But because you're faster than her, she'll use Rock Tomb to lower your speed. But she also has Rock Throw, which is the same power, so they do the same amount of damage. But the reason why 29 is good is because he'll take 8 to 10 from Rock Tomb and Rock Throw after a growl, and then he'll be hit. If he gets hit twice, it'll do 9, and then 9, which will put you to 11 HP, and 11 HP is within Torrent, and maybe you want to explain Torrent. Let's go.
Torrent is basically, it's the ability of Mudkip, and whenever your HP is at 1/3 or lower than the maximum, it boosts all water type attacks.
Yeah, basically it raises your special attack by 50% when you use a water type move. When you're at least I'm pretty sure that's how the multiplier works. I would have to verify, but I'm almost positive that's how. Most people think that it does 50% more damage, but it actually raises your special attack by 50% for purposes of damage calculation when you do that, or when you're in that HP. So in that case, he needs 13 HP or lower because his max HP is 39. So, but anyway, so going back to the spinners, there's just so much. The game happens so fast, but. So also right now, the Devin goods just got stolen, so he's gonna go save him, whatever, blah, 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 whatever. So, but even right here, he's going to run to a certain tile. This rotator turns on a timer. Oh, damn, she spun.
Yeah, I know.
Damn.
Really sucks.
Dude, damn it, okay. Anyway, so because he ran to these certain tiles around the spinners, they're programmed to turn in one direction. They won't turn randomly, they will turn in one specific direction for each tile that is kind of adjacent to them, but also even more than one tile away. As you saw when he approached the spinner that looks up and down there, the girl, he actually ran to 2 tiles to her left, and she's forced to look down. But then, basically what that does is it freezes the spinner for 32 frames, and the various movement options that you have available to you are obviously set numbers of frames, and they are all multiples of 4, basically. So, walking every tile is 16 frames per tile. Running every tile is 8 frames per tile. And so, because every time a spinner turns in a new direction, whether they do it spontaneously or whether you force them to do it, they'll be frozen in that direction for 32 frames. And so, what that means effectively for you is that you're able to walk up to 2 tiles for that period of time. However, if you walk, well, actually, you're really only able to walk 1 tile, because if you walk 2 tiles, then you'll pass them on the 32nd frame, which means there is a small chance that they can turn around and see you.
It's happened to me far too many times.
Right. So very few spinners in the game. Luckily, he has Torrent for this. He's able to 1-hit KO the Poochyena. Otherwise, it'd be 2-hit KO. So there's actually very few spinners that, based on the directions that they look and based on just the geometry of the area and the direction and basically the side that you have to pass them on, there's only a few spinners where you can just straight up run manip them, and a couple of them were in Petalburg Woods. He's able to run to the tile to the lower right of the first spinner that he passed, that will force the spinner to look down, and then he'll walk to the right of him, upward. And so since he's only walking 1 tile, he's only costing 16 frames, and so the spinner is still frozen for another 16 frames, so he's guaranteed to get past, right?
Just like
and you'll also notice
what happened there is absolutely phenomenal. I need to kill a
Wait,
wild
you got an
encounter, and this, either this youngster up here or the Mudcatcher that you saw me running manip earlier, and that just gets me to level 16, which is whenever Mudkip evolves.
Exactly, yeah. So like I said, he's gonna obviously avoid almost all the spinners in the game, or almost all the optional trainers, but there are a few that he'll fight for experience. That Geodude trainer earlier, obviously it's a really free experience when you're a water type, and he'll fight this guy as well because he can pretty easily. It's 3 turns, and then the other guy that he could fight there's some what do you call it, sort of contingencies depending on his HP. If he was too low of HP, this Machop actually could kill him because it has low kick, which does 5 damage, but he has high enough HP coming out of Roxanne.
The only instance that I really need to fight the Podcatcher down below is if I beat Roxanne with exactly 1 HP left.
Exactly, yeah, exactly.
Which does happen more often than you'd probably think.
Yeah, no, it totally does. So now he's going to evolve to Marshtomp, and he's going to learn the best move in the game.
Bay.
Yeah, so... You know,
this is our other main move that we're going to be using a lot, which can miss.
Yeah. It can miss, yeah. But the funny thing is, you come from Gen 5, where, you know...
Dude, I come from the better generations, where tackle is 100%. You can't miss tackle in Gen 5.
Yeah. Yeah, it's 50 power, isn't it?
I have no idea what it is.
I'm pretty sure it's 50 power. In Gen 5, or in Gen 3, right, from Gen 1 to Gen 4, it's 35 power, so... But anyway, so, you know, we're making moves. We got the Devin Goods back, you know. This guy's bringing us to see his boss, so, you know.
So that concludes pretty much all of the heavy technical stuff, doesn't it? That we're gonna have.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get into some more advanced spinner manipulation later, but yeah, the main takeaway is
most of it's out of the way, and that is really, really difficult to follow. So
yeah, well, I mean, there's some more advanced stuff, like you actually tried to do the advanced strat on the spinner that turned around. Basically, a spinner can turn on frame 32, but they're programmed for up to 4 different frame windows that they can turn on, and if they don't turn on, and basically every time they calculate a new direction, they calculate the direction and they calculate what frame they'll turn on. And there's 3 different classes of spinners. Also, he's going to do a shop here. I guess I should kind of explain the shopping. I don't know. I mean, you'll see what we use in the fights, but he does have to sell a couple things. He'll sell all of his Pokeballs. This is how little money you have in Sapphire, by the way. You have to sell all
you literally have to sell in like most of the shopping that you do.
Yeah, but I mean, even though you have to sell Pokeballs, normally you would not sell Pokeballs. You have to. That's slow, and you make almost no money from like 100 from each Pokeball.
And
anyway,
even
so he's
with
gonna
selling all of them, you literally only have like just over 100 left.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So he'll buy 3 Super Potions, 2 X Speeds, 3 X Attacks, and 6 Repels. And for those who don't, I mean, I feel like I never casually used X items, but basically X items just raise the respective stat by 1 stat level. And nice manip. So he does a quick little run around there. And she's a rotator, so she'll move on timer, so she can't turn in another direction. I guess that's kind of a variation of spinners. So in that case, even though he might have taken more than 2 steps to pass her, she's not going to turn in his direction because she turns in a circle on a timer.
Yeah, she turns on a cycle. So
yeah, she doesn't turn randomly, but
thank goodness. Otherwise, that would be the most annoying thing ever. You'd have to do like 2 bag. You'd have to do a run manip and a bag manip, I think. I mean, depending on how she's programmed. Petalburg.
Oh, you did? What? Oh, that's all good. Whatever.
I was mashing A to try and get rid of the text, and then I accidentally talked to him again. But you know, it's all good. Cool.
You know, we get to see more of that gray Hawaiian water. But anyway, it was one thing. What I was saying is, the advanced strat that he tried to do. I just think the spinner stuff is so cool, so that's why I always talk about it. But he basically, if the spinner doesn't turn on frame 32, then she also can turn on 64, and then there's also later frames that she can turn, but those aren't as relevant because they're much later and you're trying to pass her before then. But so Ixnarian came up with a strat where if you do a pause when on frame 32, if she didn't spin, then you actually can just unpause and buffer your pass because she can't turn again until frame 64, and if you walk 1 tile, then you'll pass her on frame 48 because it's frame 32. So if you manipulate her to stand or to turn, and then you walk 1, 2, that's 32 frames, and then if you pause, it freezes her timer, and then you can verify that she didn't turn, and then if she didn't, then you can just unpause and then pass again, or, continue your pass, and then that's frame 48, and she can't turn until 64. So he tried to do that, but she actually did turn. So
I got unlucky. That's literally Pokemon speedrunning in a nutshell. I got unlucky.
Yeah. And she's really unlikely to turn 2, I thought. Anyway, so he's got to go to.
I have to go to Stevenstone through the end of Granite Cave, which is completely blind, so it's just some basic memorization. It's a pain to learn at the start, but once you get it down, it's really easy.
Yeah.
This is not the only cave I'll have to do blind. I'll have to do the Cave of Origin a while later on, completely blind, but that's all good.
What was I gonna say? Oh yeah, we used to catch Abra here. If people are familiar with kind of the history of Gen 3 at all, we used to catch Abra. And Abra does save a lot of time. It's pretty close. And nowadays we can manipulate Abra, so it wouldn't be as bad. But it's just like, you know, if it saves time, it saves almost no time. And all it really does is make one gym fight later more consistent because you can delay it. You know, other than that, you would be forced to do another manip here, and if you fail the manip, you reset, so it's actually kind of stupid. Abrolus is excellent, I think, for Sapphire. It's excellent for marathons. It's also good for attempts. They do catch Abra now again in Emerald, but that's because it takes more time in Emerald.
Right, that meta type is so annoying to fight because it has confusion, which, you know, it does damage to you. You really want to be damaged for this fight. Then it can also confuse you, which is just terrible. 50-50 chance to hit yourself or just get through and use your move normally. And also has Detect, which just wastes a bunch of time.
Right.
But now we're approaching one of my favorite and least favorite fights in the entire game. This is Brawly, the second gym leader.
Yeah.
And this is where we'll see the first use of our X items. And there's a certain outcome I'm really hoping for. He has a move called Bulk Up, which raises his attack and defense. Now right, Generation 3 had the physical special split, but it wasn't very good.
No, it doesn't have the physical special split.
Moves are classed as physical or special depending on their type, not if they actually make contact or not.
Right. Well, no, I mean, yeah, but I mean, there's also a difference between the physical and special and non-contact. Or I think there are special contact. Are there special contact moves? I'm not sure. But like Mud Shot, for example, is non-contact, but it is physical.
It's physical simply because it's a ground type move. Now I have a chance to just die here.
You got a good roll.
Oh, I crit back against it. Okay, that's fine. That works. Critting works.
Oh, shit. Nice. Okay, so yeah, so this is great. So the thing is that he was at 9 HP, and Makuhita has Arm Thrust, which always hits 2 to 5 times, so it's a multi-hit move, and each hit does 5 damage. So because he was at 9 HP, he was guaranteed to die to Arm Thrust, but the AI doesn't think that it can kill because it figures whether it's going to use the move just based on the damage output, and the damage output 5. So because he's at 9, he actually can't heal, because if he heals and Makuhita uses Bulk Up, then he actually can't 2-hit KO and he'll probably die. So he actually just has to risk it. Shouldn't use Arm Thrust. Luckily he got a critical anyway. You're also 3 and 16 to hit the Makuhita into heal range because of how good your attack is. Which is unlikely, but bad, because if he bulk ups and then you hit him into heal range and then he'll heal, then you can possibly die because you can't really reliably 2-hit KO after he's boosted his defense. So.
I see someone in the chat complaining about Hustle and Mine, and thankfully we don't see either of them in this run.
Yeah, you don't. Yeah.
So now that we've arrived in Slateport, we are gonna have to complete that mission that we were told to do a very long time ago. We have to go to the docks and deliver the Devon goods so that they can go on their little expedition, which will become a little bit more relevant later on. It's not in the shipyard, so we have to go to the museum. I think something might be.
We gotta talk to Doc first. But...
I think something might be going on. I'm not entirely sure.
Also, he just got on the beach there. He talked to an NPC to get soft sand, and soft sand boosts ground type moves. Basically, raises your attack by 10% when you use a ground type move.
Right, so my HP is actually really nice at the moment. You want to be at low HP. I'm gonna let Heinz explain the AI bit. You really, for the not this fight that's coming up, but the one after that is a rival fight, and you want to be at an HP range of 19 to 39. And I'll let Heinz explain why you go 140 or over.
Right. So, well, one thing first of all is that so he fought Brawly. He doesn't have to fight Brawly early. Most people don't know this, but you can actually delay Brawly till later. You just have to beat 4 gyms before fighting Norman. So he can fight Brawly after Flannery, meaning that he can actually advance the plot without fighting Brawly. They forced this in the Gen 3 remakes, which, you know, neither here nor there, whatever. But he actually really needs to fight Brawly because he needs the experience. And this Mudkip, if he didn't have these kinds of stats, he could not beat Brawly. So, like
Brawly, I'd imagine was a massive wall before.
No, we didn't fight Brawly.
Oh no, did you do? Oh yeah, you would have done later.
See, basically, Aberlus came around right around the time that we were allowed to save and quit, but slightly before that, we weren't allowed to, but we were still doing Aberlus. So I was running if it's almost as good as this, but really not, and it could beat Brawly. So I did runs for a while with that Mudkip, but anyway, so he has to be at lower HP. He needs no more than 39 HP because the next fight is gonna be the second rival fight, and no matter whether you're a boy or a girl, the rival will lead with a Pokemon that can use Growl. And the way the AI works, really across most of the fights in the game, is that it's gonna favor damaging moves if you're at lower HP, and favor sort of status or boosting moves or just anything besides a damaging move that it has if you're at higher HP. The threshold varies between different fights based on the AI, but for Rival 2 here, it is specifically 70% HP, so if he's below 70%, and this, by the way, we did not know this for a long time, and it changed everything. I can't believe, we used to just literally have to pray for no Growl. But
you used to play with Boy, didn't you?
Yeah, but I mean, so May leads Whammer if you are the boy, but Whammer doesn't have Growl. But basically, he cannot get Growl at all. So the reason why that's bad is because he has to boost his attack in order to win this fight. And so he can't get Growl if he's below 70% HP. And also if he's above 70% HP, if he uses an X attack and the fight and the opponent doesn't use Growl, then he cannot get another Growl. So there's various ways to play around it, but usually you're able to get lower HP because Brawly does damage you significantly. So he's going to set up 2 X attacks at 1 X speed, and the secondary effect of Mudshot is it lowers the opponent's speed. So
that's very, very useful, which is exactly what I've done right now. First turn, Grovyle outspeeds you and uses Absorb. That means he doesn't get HP back, because if you use 2x speeds, you outspeed Grovyle, and then it uses Absorb, and it just gets all its HP back again. And it's really, really stupid. You just literally have to...
This fight is actually super interesting from a routing perspective. This fight is, like, pretty cool.
It is really cool. It's really, really fun. Except for whenever it doesn't work, and you die.
Right.
That's just
basically,
in a nutshell.
Basically, if he's critical by the Absorb, run over, or in this case, you just do it over.
Or if
he misses, and he has to hit 2. We used to do Rock Tomb because obviously Grovyle resists Mudshot. So the only way that we're able to make this fight work is by boosting our attack significantly, having good attack in the first place, and also he just equipped Soft Sand. So we use Soft Sand through a significant portion of the run, but he really needs it for this fight. So luckily you get it before this.
So now we're gonna go into this little house here. We're just gonna pick up Rock Smash, because HM still exists back in these days, and we need them to complete the game. It's annoying because in this game you don't use Rock Smash at all. You just kind of have to have it.
Yeah. I forgot to point out, I don't know why I said this, or I don't know why I didn't say this, but some of the spinners you cannot do a running manip because of just the directions that they look. So one of the trainer that he passed on, one of the trainers that he just passed on the route after Rival 2, he just entered the bag. Entering the bag deloads the spinner so that when it reloads it into the overworld, it is frozen for 32 frames, like as if you had run manipped it. So then you can just get a free pass.
So we have a freaking big menu here. We heal. We picked up an ether in Petalburg Forest, and that just restores 10 PP to whatever move you use it on. Then we just teach Rock Smash, and then we register and use the Mach Bike, which is our new method of transportation, which is exceedingly difficult to control, but you will hopefully see me use it very well during this run. Hopefully I won't make too many mistakes with it.
Oh yeah, your biking is pretty good. So he's also
this thing is definitely one of the big walls for new runners. It's really annoying to control, especially if you're using like a GameCube controller, because it's renowned for not having the greatest D-pad in the world.
Yeah.
So
yeah, we'll talk about the control scheme later when manipulation when run to bike kind of comes into play. But yeah, there's various considerations when choosing a control scheme. You're playing on a DS, right?
I am playing on a DS, which has an amazing D-pad, so it's not too big of an issue.
Right.
For me, it just means because this game was made for the Game Boy Advance, before the Y and X buttons existed. In later gen, so in 4 and onwards, you use Y to get on the bike, and that's really close to B. But in this game, you need to use Select, and if you've ever played one of the really old DSs, you know Select is really out of the way, and it's really frustrating to play. But it's not terrible.
You seem to do pretty good with it.
Oh, okay. Here we are, a lovely one. Okay, the exact thing I was talking about. 2 gyms in a row, we have to deal with a stupid Metatite that can do the exact same thing. It used Confusion, and I did get confused, unfortunately. But
oh damn!
I got through.
This is so
it's all skill, not luck at all.
Very nice, very nice. Yeah. So the cool thing about this is the things that this mudkip can do with its really good speed is normally the fastest way to do this Metatite is you'll normally be outsped by the Metatite unless you have this good of speed. So you would have to mudshot twice, and mudshot has or you could mudshot water gun, I guess, but most mudkips that we used to use also didn't have good enough special attack or attack. So you'd mudshot twice, and mudshot has a speed lowering animation, which obviously costs time. So, but since you outspeed the Metatite naturally with this mudkip, you're able to lead with water gun, and then finish it off with mudshot. And because you kill with mudshot, it doesn't play the speed animation, speed drop animation.
Right, those 3 Voltorbs that I just fought are really annoying to fight. Because you're so, you're kind of low in most cases on healing items. Those Voltorbs have a move called Sonic Boom, which does automatically 20 damage. Thankfully, they both missed. 2 out of the 3 of them used it, but thankfully they missed, so it's not.
No, you want one of them to hit you.
No, that was the Metatite's Confusion.
No, but I mean, you want one of them to hit you.
Well, Watson's Sonic Boom.
That's what?
Watson's Sonic Boom, remember?
No, I know, but that's the thing. So one of the dumb things about this gym is you actually want to take damage leading up Watson because there's a similar situation going on with his Magnemite because you don't outspeed it. You have to use an X speed on it. In order to, and then you'll outspeed all 3 of his Pokemon. So, and they all know. I mean, they know Sonic Boom, the Magnemite, and the Magneton, and then the Voltorb actually does no self-destruct, so it's kind of nice to be able to outspeed it. You usually won't use it, but the Magnemite and the Magneton both have Supersonic, and luckily you got Sonic Boom. Okay, well, okay, lucky, right?
Well, you have the full heal to work around that anyway, and then it uses
it's true.
Sonic Boom, so it's pretty safe.
Yeah. Ideally, you want less than 70% HP. It can still use Supersonic in this case if you're below 70% HP, but if you're below 50% HP, it can Supersonic. There's various thresholds that you have to play around with the AI, but that was good. And also, see, the funny thing is, it's not just this fight, it's also CTB coming up. So if you didn't take damage from, say you got Supersonic Miss, then you'd be at 55 HP, or you'd be at like 60 HP for Brooke, and then you're screwed. Because then you can get Growl from Brooke.
So yeah, coming up, you heard Heinz mention CTB. That is Cool Trainer Brooke that I mentioned earlier in the run. I'm going to be saving because this fight is just, it's just stupid. But
Well,
you're
the
going to see
thing
the
is,
first
there's
of the
nothing to the
wonderful
fight.
trick, Run to Bike. If Heinz could explain Run to Bike.
Yeah, so it's just a faster way to manipulate. Like I said, there's very few that you're able to pass with just one tile of walking. And because they can turn after 2 tiles of walking on the 32nd frame, you want to guarantee your pass. So in order to do that, you will basically use the speed of the mock bike to do it quicker. So you'll see there he actually bikes downward first to deload that spinner. Basically, spinners are loaded from a certain number of tiles away. You should know this. I can't remember off the top of my head. It's like 9 tiles away on the
I think
right,
it is
left,
9, yeah.
and up, and it's 7 tiles away from below. So you need to go 7 tiles away from the trainer that he just passed, and then the trainer will always be loaded facing the same direction, so it's always loaded facing up. So he can deload it by going down, and then when he goes upward, basically the mock bike at full speed, every tile is 4 frames, so 7 tiles at 4 frames per tile is he'll pass on frame 28. And the spinner is frozen until frame 32, so he guarantees the first pass, and then he had to pass again over the top, going to the left. And when he, well, first of all, I guess we'll just get into the fight here. So the Roselia is a 75% range. Like I said, based on the damage, the way the damage calculation is done, the game multiplies the damage output by a number between 85 and 100, an integer between 85, all the integers inclusive from 85 to 100, and then divides that again by 100. So that means that there are 16 possible damage rolls, and they're roughly a percentage, but obviously the game floors it, so it's always an integer that you do damage to, right? So the Roselia has 48 HP, I think, and your roll is like, 46 to 52 or something like that, right? So 3/4 of the damage rolls will kill it, and 1/4 of them will not.
And if you miss or just don't kill it, you're dead.
Yeah, because it knows Mega Drain and you die. So this is a big shop too. So he'll be buying. He gets the nugget out of the, and then he'll sell 2 TMs as well. And he got Steel Wing from Steven and Bulk Up he got from Brawley. So that's another nice thing. All the gym tend to give you, all of them do give you TMs, and so you can sell those. So he'll be buying a lot of super repels.
Back to life.
Over. Oh yeah. So he needs to revive the win. He's gonna use it for later on.
Oh my god.
Did you hear?
No, it's just my execution is something else.
Okay, that's cool. As
But
long as you don't hit
the
the
first half of that
was.
was really bad, but the second half, the part that actually matters, because you need to do a run to bike and maneuver your way around different trainers, was actually really good. I'm happy I didn't hit that. You saw me do a run to bike vertically there. That, in my opinion, is the hardest run to bike in the entire game. I always mess it up. I don't know why.
I wouldn't say it's the hardest.
No,
it's definitely.
I have the most trouble with that one. I have all of them.
Yeah, it's because of
the most.
It's because of the way you have to bonk, and there's not really a lot of like clear geography in that area for you to tell what tile you're. So you need to. Anyways, going back to running the bike. Basically, the mock bike accelerates sequentially from the first tile that you move is 16 frames, so it's actually as slow as walking. The second tile that you move is 8 frames, so it's as fast as running. And then every subsequent tile is 4 frames, so that's faster. That's twice as fast as running. So mounting the bike is 3 frames. So if you, in that case, for example, if he runs to the tile that is 1 row above that spinner, the spinner will look left, and he has to pass on the left, so he can't do that. He'll be seen. So that means that he can't. That means that he has to run to the row 2 tiles above him. But if he just walks, 2 tiles is 32 frames, so he can be spun on the 32nd frame. But if he times a really quick bike mount after running to that tile, then he will mount the bike, which is 3 frames. Then he will go one tile, which is 16 frames, and then the second tile is 8 frames, which means he actually moved. He actually was able to pass the spinner in what is that? 27 frames, right? So that means that So that means that you have a, let's see, 27, so it'd be 27, 28, 29, 30, 31. You have a 5-frame window to mount the bike. If you mount on the 6th frame, then you will pass as fast as if you had walked, which means that he can spin on you because he can see you on frame 32. Sorry, it's a really long explanation, but there's a lot of moving parts, obviously, but just basically the idea is because of how mountain bike accelerates, you're able to pass just slightly faster than you would be able to walking, and that's why the location of the select button matters, because you need to transition from holding B for running to the select button to mounting the bike really quickly, within 5 frames usually. So he just taught strength too, and he did it in a menu where he was in front of a spinner.
I need to bag manip that spinner. There's no other way around him.
Exactly. So, someone asked in the chat what kind of glitches are there in Pokemon. You can see documentation for glitches for all kinds of, especially like Gen 4 is just super broken. But specifically in this game, they pretty much patched all of the significant glitches in the English version and also in international versions. But in the Japanese version, there's an item duplication glitch involving the moves Thief and also Switcheroo. I think Trick would also work. And I don't really know how it works, but that's also documented on YouTube. There's actually, I think the channel is Chickasaurus. Has a lot of cool Pokemon glitch documentation specifically for Gen 3. So there is actually a glitched route for the Japanese version of this game, but not in the English version because the duplication glitch was patched. So basically in the glitch route in Japanese, you literally just duplicate a bunch of rare candies and get to level 100, so you skip all the experience text and you just beat everything pretty easily. It takes a long time to dupe the candy, so it's actually not that much faster, but it is faster. So, anyway. Rant.
Hint, hint, Heinz said about Gen 4 being really broken. Hint, hint, wink, wink, I ran Diamond any %. Last time this marathon existed. So if you want to see what am I doing? If you do want to see how broken Gen 4 is, I recommend watching that run.
Okay.
So another safety save here for another stupid fight. This is Archie, the leader of Team Aqua. This fight, for the most part, it's really it has a really high win ratio.
Oh, yeah, super
loss
straightforward.
ratio. You're really favored to win, but this is Pokemon. Random crits happen. You're not always gonna have a 100% win rate.
So he's gonna he switches Wingull.
Have a 100% win rate.
Yeah, very good. He does switch Wingull to the front here because Mightyena has Intimidate, so it will lower your attack by 1 stage.
Which we don't want because I'm setting up X attacks.
Yeah, so yeah, we actually need to boost our attack. But not only that, but he can use the turn that he uses to sack Wingull to set up a guard spec, and the reason he needs to do that is because the Mightyena knows Sand Attack.
Which was literally showcased right as you said that. That was good timing.
Oh, good timing. Yeah,
I prefer to see Sand Attack good.
You actually, this is another kind of, case where you would like to take a little bit of damage, but not too much.
Not too much.
You get
and it
all
also
Sand
works in the AI is not the greatest. So even though it is a guard spec and it's tried before for Sand Attack, it doesn't recognize that it didn't work. So it's just like, hey, maybe it'll work this time,
Yeah.
I used the wrong move. Right. Okay. I used strength by accident.
Oh damn! You got a terrible first roll. Okay, you set up the other X attack. Okay, no, that was actually perfect.
Anyway, so still good.
Damn, that was perfect. Okay, so he took the right amount of damage. The Golbat knows Supersonic as well, so you'd like to be but that way you'll take he'll use Wing Attack.
I'd like to point out, I'm assuming the timer was started correctly, but this is a 52 Archie. Like, this is actually not a bad run.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
For a marathon, at least. Like, this is actually really, really good. So Burb got more screen time. Burb will get a wee bit more later on. Not Burb doesn't get too much, but where Burb is useful, Burb is great. So we're gonna go through just hopping the city right now. This path is
Jagged pass.
really, really unexciting. But we have another shopping trip to do. To the Shady Herb shop, which is what I like to call it.
Mm-hmm.
I have a full heal, so I'm just gonna buy 2 of each. I'm gonna buy energy powders, which are basically the exact same as super potions, energy roots, which are the same as hyper potions, and 2 heal powders, which are the same as full heals.
Right.
So I have a lovely puzzle to do, so I'm gonna go quiet for a minute just so I can read my notes, because I completely forgot this. Luckily I document everything down, puzzle-wise.
So basically
Specifically
this
for
is...
reason.
Yeah, if you mess with this puzzle, you definitely have to pretty sure you hit a trainer. Basically, this fight here makes the whole Abrolus route work. One of the difficulties in Gen 3 is that people will variously say that it's kind of spread out. Actually, I think people call it non-linear. It's not really probably that much more non-linear than some Pokemon games, but specifically because the 5th gym is all the way back in like the first city that you go through besides Old Dale Town. It means that you have a lot of backtracking if you don't have either Abra or if you don't do this strat right here.
And additionally, a lot of people in the remakes of this game, so many people got confused with the fact that they had to go from Flannery the whole way back to Middleburg. They actually just made a thing where your rival takes you back because so many people didn't know what to do.
That honestly, that really killed it for me. They do that a bunch of times too. There's actually like 2 or 3, and actually every situation where they do that, we would have used Abra in the old route.
So in this fight, I'm setting up with X attacks, but I really want Slugma to use
Also,
Smog,
you might as well reset if you don't get it, because then you don't have to use X specials. Like you might not, then you won't get through in the late game.
I'm gonna try and stall as long as I possibly can, like using tackle and stuff to try and get it. But
Yeah. So you want to do? You want to do +3 tackle though.
Nope, didn't get it.
Yeah. So he's intentionally getting poisoned here. The
That way I
problem is,
die, and the reason I went to the Pokemon Center in Petalburg was to set a warp point, so if I died at any point in the run, it would have just brought me back to Petalburg. So I'm gonna specifically die from the poison after Flannery to take me the whole way back to Petalburg, so I can just go straight into Norwood's gym.
Right.
So
This was
hopefully
actually
this doesn't take too long. It's kind of annoying.
this strat was actually thought of, I think, as far back as like 2012 when Torchic by Green Mittens. I think Green Mittens had thought of this. Obviously, multiple people will come up with the same strat, but a lot of old school Sapphire, players that don't play anymore.
Come on, Slugma.
You get poison?
No, I missed tackle. Okay. Oh my god. He used 4 smogs, hit 2, and missed 2.
Yeah, I mean, this looks worse than it is. But pretty much, in a marathon, all Pokemon fights are going to look worse than they are. It's decently likely for this to work, but Smog is, I think, 70% accurate, and it's like 30% to poison. So.
In short, I'm getting really unlucky by having to do this fight a 3rd time.
Yeah.
I'm getting ridiculously unlucky. He missed Smog. You should hit and poison me. That would be amazing. I love you. You're gonna use Light Screen instead.
This is what the estimate's for, The 52 are.
Oh my god, come on! Please, poison me! Yay!
You got it.
Final X attack turn. That's actually the best turn to get it on. Should I go for the desert candy?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I was gonna say.
I feel like
definitely.
for the meme, I should definitely do it.
Oh yeah, because it also shows part of the route, and this is a certain, and even on good attempts, I mean, if you have an excellent early game and you get the right setup for Desert Candy, it's not a bad idea to go for it.
my rule for Desert Candy is if I'm not in the HP to get it, it's no biggie, but if I can get it, I will.
Yeah. Oh, definitely, yeah.
But I have 37 HP finishing this fight, which is very, very lenient. You only need like 32, I think it is, to get to the Desert
I'm pretty
Candy.
sure you need 32. Yeah, I think so.
So, it's all good. So we beat Flannery in under an hour, somehow.
Mind if I pop in with a couple quick donations?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, yeah.
Alright, so we have $5 from Amoeba. Good luck, young lad, Ska.
Dude, Meebs.
Thanks, Miba.
And we have a whopping $106 from Casey. Been watching with my partner while playing Smash and having a blast. Sapphire is one of my favorite games of all time, and Hoenn is definitely my favorite region. Good luck to scoagogo. Your name is hard to read. And shoutouts to all the non-binary runners and watchers. And that actually comes with a bid for naming Kyogre Splash.
Cool.
Nice. I'd probably need reminded of that closer to the time.
Nice.
But yeah, thank you for the
Yeah,
donations,
Amiibo.
guys.
Thanks a lot, Amoeba, dude. That, you know, I love Meebs. I'm a big fan. Bogey speedrunning, so.
So that was actually perfect. I didn't repel and I didn't get any encounters. So I died from poison and now
Oh,
we're
you
going
didn't
into
repel?
Norman's gym.
Okay, that was a nice YOLO. I guess you get to use the repel now.
Dude, I never repel. It's better
You're
to not.
supposed to repel.
So-
No, because you only have the YOLO like 3 tiles later.
Shh, 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 it's fine. So I'm gonna save for pretty much every fight in this gym.
Oh yeah, save for Delcat.
They all suck, right?
Yes.
In the theme of Norman's gym is X items. Each room has like a different thing. This one is the accuracy room. It's really annoying because this Delcat has Sing, and Sing doesn't hit all the time to begin with. So whenever
I
you
think
use
it's
the
a
X
55
accuracy, it's so likely to hit. And as I say that, it misses. Way to make me look like a dumbass.
Did it miss? Yeah, the other annoying thing is, you know, you don't want to use Mudshot if you don't have to, but Delcatty's ability is Q Charm, so if you contact move, it has a 30% chance to attract you, which means that you're a coin flip away from not being able to hit her. So combined with the fact that she can put you to sleep, it can just be, I mean, you can literally lose your whole run to just Delcatty, and it's like,
They also
either
have
because it's really slow or...
phenomenal. I missed Mudshot on Linen, okay. Oh, Sand Attack, my favorite.
That's bad.
Oh.
Yeah, missing
Trust
Mudshot
me
on pretty much
thinking
any
I'm gonna
fights
be
is bad.
fine and I'm just not gonna save for Linen.
Oh, god. Wait, did you save for Delcatty?
Yeah.
Okay.
So if this goes south, like, and I just miss loads of stuff, like I'll need to hit one more and that wasn't terrible.
Yeah, because you need to hit the, you need to Mudshot the low noon because it can, if it outspeeds you.
Okay, Linen crit me.
What?
I guess we're going back to Delcatty. Maybe
Yeah,
Delcatty
dude, these
can
are-
showcase the badness this time. Oh wait.
These fights are free too, that sucks. I mean, I should say, Delcatty's not free, but Lanoon is pretty free if you don't, no, that's just 1 in 20.
Hence why I didn't save, because in most scenarios you're gonna win against Linen. I missed Mudshot on Delcatty. What is happening? Right, okay, use Growl.
No, actually that's bad, because I don't
Yeah,
know if
I'm
you
just
3
gonna
KO
reset
now.
and try again.
Yeah, reset that, yeah. First turn ground, that's bizarre.
This is showcasing how like annoying Sapphire can be as a speed game. Like,
Yeah,
this
normally
entire
this
gym is
not
actually
bad,
just really hard.
honestly, so far, the Sapphire has been pretty cooperative. You know, a lot of times she makes a fool of herself at marathons, and it scares people away, and we're like, girl, you're better than this, come on, you know?
Good charm. Oh, missed Sing again. Still making me look stupid. Immobilized by love. You don't love it that much. Kill it. Love it so much that you can kill it. There we go.
Shout out to Shiro.
Okay, now that Delcatty's out of the way, and I'm scared for Lunoon to go wrong again, I'm gonna do what I really should have done the first time and save. That's my trainer ID.
Might as well.
Just thought I'd let you all see my trainer ID and how amazing it is.
Hi. Trainer ID.
That's actually the first death.
Yep, that is, yep.
Lunoon was the first death.
No,
That's...
it's not first death. You also reset on plenary, but that's not really death.
Oh, no, that's not really death. That's just stupid.
Yeah.
We hit Mudshot, guys. We did it.
Nice.
Okay, this fight's basically free now. As long as we don't get sand attack. Stop! Crit me again.
This is another.
I'm not dead.
This is another gym where having the stats that you have is super vital. I mean, like, you know, we're not really talking about. I mean, you don't even know the woes of bad stats, but you know, if you go through this gym with most mudkips,
it's something else.
It's the struggle, yeah.
I'm saving for this fight purely because of Mudshot again. If you miss Mudshot against this Zangoose, it's pretty bad. This room's theme is attack, so it just uses an X attack, and then it uses slash, which is an increased crit chance. So,
Yeah.
+1 slash crit, no fun.
Well, you can take the other room. This one's kind of, I mean, we take specific room for the first two, because it's pretty much, you pretty much want to do the X accuracy, the X defender for Lunoon. The alternatives for Delcatty are X speed, which is bad because that means that after one mud shot, it still outspeeds you. So you really need the X accuracy Delcatty. And then the Lunoon's other one is the recovery room, which means that it has a super potion, so it'll heal, so it's just slower. And in the case of Zangoose, it's X attack or dire hit. Dire hit raises your crit rate, but so it's 1/4 the critical with slash, but it also won't kill with slash because it didn't boost its attack. Whereas if you get crit with slash in the X attack room, you'll die. It's kind of neither here nor there though, because you should be able to 2-hit KO the Zangoose.
I see chat going mad. Hit 7k. That's exciting.
Oh, hype.
Yeah, we just hit 7K thanks to a couple donations, most recently from Lennox Play. Watching all day, glad to support the Trevor project. Let's see extra Kirby mode down the line.
Dad here is, you know, he's brutal. So we're gonna, he set up an X defend because the Slaking can two-shot you if you don't. So
Yeah,
you
he
barely.
can still two-shot you with it, but it's unlikely.
Yeah, it's like 1 in 256 or something. Then we set up 2X attacks. Yawn is okay because you know it means we're not taking damage. And any criticals will ignore your defense boost, so it will just any critical is automatic death from Slaking.
I maybe should have healed last turn there. It's fine.
Well, you want to? Yeah, you mean you? No, you don't. Well, yeah, you normally want to heal on Slaking because you can bait the pain attack. It doesn't really matter, but because normally you'll get facade anyway. But so we used to do +6 on this fight, and then two-shot the actually +5 or +6, and then two-shot the Slakings. But Epic Dude Guy also, in this case, developed this +2 strat, which is pretty much, I think, only usable with the kip of these stats. He needs to make sure that he heals before the Slaking, before the last Slaking, because he leads Slaking, then he has to figure out second Slaking, and the second Slaking will do 40 to 48 with Facade, and it outspeeds you. We don't use an X speed on this fight. We used to, but we now use Mudshot, which obviously can miss, but because we're lowering their speed, you know, he actually Facaded. Are you kidding me? So normally if he can't kill with Facade, he'll use Focus Punch, and he can't damage you because if he's hit during the charging of Focus Punch, then he fails to use the move. It's actually good that he took a Facade there because lower HP. Actually, you should try and do scope. Actually, well, no, you can't because you don't have high experience. It just doesn't work in Sapphire. That sucks. In Emerald, that's good because you're able to get Torrent for Shelly, but Torrent doesn't matter for Shelly in Sapphire because you're level 30 garbage. Anyway, that was like a perfect fight. That's really good. Also, if you guys want to read more donations, you know,
Yeah,
just blab
and this
time,
next bit's just kind of walking about doing menus.
yeah, there's a lot of movement here, so you can totally do donations.
Well, I think we can talk about some of our upcoming bid donation incentives, because there's a few coming up. Of course, there's still some time to name Kyogre in this run. So that's exciting. In the lead right now by only $14 is Splash. But that could change with a single donation. Then we still have a little bit to go on the next run with the amazingly named incentive, Bees! For Dust and Elysian Tail, open a chest with lots of bees, because bees! That sounds amazing, and I want to see that happen. We also have the Air Dash route for Fie, a Time Spinner bid war for Witch Familiar, and something I personally very much want to see, all yellow credits for Undertale is about halfway to being met.
Oh, nice.
Just on that Kyogre incentive, there's about just over half an hour probably for y'all to get in for that.
Yep.
So another shopping trip. We're gonna be buying 3 super potions, 1 escape rope. We're gonna be doing 6x speeds, 7x attacks, and that's that. Like it's a lot. It's very apparent how many X items you need for this run. Very heavy on them.
He also just got Surf right after the gym from Bully's uncle, and he was able to cross the pond to get a second rare candy. And we used 3. Actually, we used 4, but we'll use 3 on Marshtown. You can use 2, but he went ahead and got the desert candy because he had enough. What happened?
Okay, we do not talk about what just happened.
Did you get hit by the runner?
No, just watch. We don't talk about that. You'll loot the heck out of that person.
Oh, nice. Whew. Okay, so, no, well, yeah, you want to sell. Oh, okay.
My heart skipped to like 1 billion beats there, dude.
Yeah, she turned, and actually, I don't know what she has. She definitely.
But this is not the time to find out. Oh, nice. Okay, I got all of those roundabouts perfect, which is really nice.
Yeah.
I sat and practiced that for like 20 minutes before the marathon.
Yeah, this is actually you normally wouldn't do this movement in the Abra route because you would. Yeah, I'm trying to think how do we used to do. Oh, that was good movement around the guy. Oh yeah, so no, but he also got another rare candy there, surfing on Raw 110 there, so he gets like 2 in a row right there. But yeah, you would normally not do that movement. Oh, I know why, because you would go. How do we used to do? Why am I drawing a blank right now? You'd go to. Oh yeah.
I did it, Ruth, doesn't matter.
Trying to think, what would we used to do? But yeah, you don't have to do that movement basically.
Okay, apart from that massive spinner fluke, that movement was really solid.
Yeah, that was solid, yeah.
That was amazing.
But yeah, and also 2 of those trainers there have one of them has a Breloom. Actually, I think they have no. One of them has like a Gloom, and one of them has a. So he avoided them very nicely there. Very good. Here we're at the Weather Institute, so we need to thwart Team Aqua again, whatever. And one of the next fight here after these 2 grunt fights, kind of sketchy, kind of one of those fights, unfortunately, that has a higher chance to kill you than you would like. Really, obviously in Pokemon Speed, chance to die, but because of how hard it is to even get a run to this point, dying here is just It's so stupid.
Just to interrupt you quickly, does Mighty Anna outspeed you, or do you outspeed it?
You outspeed Mighty Anna.
Okay, so I just need...
Yeah, you take, yeah, it's worth saving. You take, like, I think it's 17 to 21 from Bite, or 16 to 19. No, it's not.
20 to 24, that's what my notes say.
Okay, I'm checking Exorian space, I'm pretty sure it's...
Doesn't matter either way. This fight's pretty safe, but I mean.
Well, no, it wouldn't matter because you're at 23 HP.
Yeah, but the 24.
No, but 24 is 1 in 16, so he's actually.
Oh, yeah, haha, I just missed.
Wait, what? You missed? What do you mean? You can't. You surf.
Oh, I love mud shots so much.
Oh, you missed the Come on, I'm stupid. Okay. Yeah. Wait, what am I looking for again? Oh yeah. Mariana. No, seriously, it's 20 to 24. Okay, so then, yeah, so you should have healed, I guess. No, this.
And I crit it anyway, so.
You crit the mic. Oh my god. Wait, and he did 22 to you? Oh no. You took 22 from the.
I took 22 from Carvana.
Yeah. Okay, I guess I'm confusing this with Archie 1. There's so many Marianas in this, and
Yeah, there's so many Marianas. It's understandable to get confused. So we have cast form, and I actually really should have added an incentive for cast form. I completely forgot it exists.
Oh
if
yeah.
I'd remembered about it, I would have added one.
Well, I mean, they don't give you the option.
Oh, is that only an emerald?
Yeah. So you can't name it.
Never mind then.
Yeah, an emerald. They ask you if you want to name it, but so they give you cast form here, and cast form will be used, slightly, briefly later on, but it gets more use in emerald. So.
Oh, it gets a lot of use in emerald. In this game, it's used in one fight, and that's it.
Yeah.
Right. This is a big menu. I'm gonna have to concentrate on, so I'm gonna go quiet here for a second.
Oh yeah, no, yeah, I'm stupid. Yeah, you would teleport back to Mauville, and you normally go from Mauville to Petalburg. So yeah, so that's why you don't do the movie. Obviously, goddamn. Still thinking about that. Like, how did I forget that? I did that rock for like 3 years. So yeah, so he does a little menu here. He's to level 34. He can candy either before this fight or after, depending on if he got extra experience. In this run, he did not. It's kind of nice to have the extra experience because it does help you in a couple. Actually, it doesn't really
It would help in Tate and Liza if you got the extra level, but
you don't really get an extra level on Tate and Liza. It helps, or you get an extra level already because of candy, or because you got desert candy. But anyway, like so, he also takes an item from Cast Form, which is Mystic Water, which we will also be using later on. So
I just equipped it, so we do use it right back.
Well, yeah, it comes into play a little bit, but
it helps a lot throughout the run. But
yeah. And then this is the third rival fight, pretty much free. I mean, you can get Magna. I mean, you can
get really unlucky with magnitude, and you can also get crit and stuff. Like, no fight in this game is safe. Like, there's a lot of stuff that can go wrong in a lot of fights. There's very few that have like a 100% win rate.
Yeah. But he's able to just strike all these.
I would have to. I think no, I wouldn't have to. Bunch shot. No, if you have.
Yeah, you bunch up. If you do late.
If you don't menu before rival, you have to mud shot Wheelmer.
Yeah, exactly.
Otherwise, you're grand.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, this is, I guess, where it kind of slows down.
Well, we're now going to go to my favorite place in the entire game, which is Fortree City.
Fortree is super cool.
I love Fortree City so much. The music's great, the theme is cool, like, everything about this place is amazing.
Yeah. And you get Fly from Rival, so we can use Fly after we beat Winona.
So we're gonna go down. We're gonna talk to Steve Stone again. We're gonna fight. We're not gonna fight Kecleon. We're gonna look at a Kecleon and we're gonna run away from it.
Oh no, you want it? Oh, you repelled before, yeah.
So then we get the div on scope, which allows us to go into Winona's gym, because there is a Kekleon blocking it. Otherwise,
and then we're actually going to backtrack to this is that having Abra help with. Basically, there is some Team Aqua fights down at Mount Pyre, which we are going to do in a bit. But they're there before or after you fight Winona, it doesn't matter. So if you had Abra, you could enter the Fortree Pokemon Center to set your war point, then go past Steven straight to Mount Pyre, do all the Aqua fights and get that experience, and then teleport back to Fortree, which would allow you to be Swampert for Winona, which is pretty much the main significant advantage that an Abra route would have over Abraless, because otherwise we're gonna have to fight her as Marshtomp.
it is harder.
It's honestly crap. I think it's crap. I think even Exarian,
it's helped because I got Desert Candy.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
First Pokemon Swellow. If you don't get the Desert Candy that I got, it's 60% range or something
62.
to kill it.
It's 64 if you include critical.
64 to kill it. But if you do get the Desert Candy, it's guaranteed. So it does help a lot. The World Record Run actually has a very, very good showcase of why
Does he get Desert Candy?
No, he doesn't. So he has the range, he misses it twice, and then, like, misses some serves because of Double Team.
Are you kidding me?
Like, he fought the worst Winona fight possible, I'm pretty sure.
Kill myself, dude.
Like, it was terrible. But, I mean, you can work around it. It's not the worst.
I mean, yeah, you just spam serve. It's like, yeah, so also the Doduo there, that if he had gotten the extra experience and been able to do a late candy after Rival 3, then he would have been level 35, and he then outspeeds. Actually, wait, no, since you got the Desert Candy.
No, Desert Candy allows you to outspeed it, otherwise it is a speed tie.
Yeah, otherwise it's a speed tie.
Double Team.
Which is bad. It is bad because he actually has Tri-Attack, which can...
I should have healed, I'm just noticing.
Well, what do you mean?
I just at 30 HP.
Oh yeah, you want to go,
At least he... Okay, that's only one. That's bearable. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, normally you want... I mean, see, that's the thing, is like... If you have, Torrent, then you one-shot the Swellow. But because it knows Aerial Ace, you know, you're already gonna have... You're normally in at least, like, a semi-heal loop in this fight. Not a true heal loop because you actually do have a few turns between. But the Pelipper tends to damage you. Oh, nice.
As he just did, he damaged me turn 1. But he's spamming Protect.
Yeah.
You really want to just Protect spam. Like...
What blows my mind is that in Emerald, I swear they get Protect spam from this Pelipper. And we do not
Protect in Emerald, always.
Yeah. The AI has to be different, and I don't know why. So he does 17 to... Or Wing Attack, I think they do the same amount. So you want to heal, you know, kind of... you know, judiciously, but if you don't have a heal, you do not want to heal, because if you go over 50%, then he has Supersonic, so the Pelipper can confuse you. But yeah, so you want to Protect spam at least while you're... Damn, you're good. This is good, yeah, because you want to... So you got to get to +5, and also set up an XP.
Well, the only disadvantage now is I'm not in Torrent anymore, so Skarmory is too short.
Oh, you didn't need to heal on the last turn there.
I don't need to.
Yeah, and you probably didn't want to, because now you're gonna be... Now your HP's gone. Well, it doesn't matter, but that's one of those. The HP management in the late game is very tricky. Oh, also you're not in Torrent anymore, so... You missed the stronger range.
It's all good.
Yeah. So yeah, so you want Torrent for Skarmory, and also... This is actually probably better HP, so it's actually not that bad that you did that. And then you need +5 to be able to one-shot the Pelipper. Well, I think you need +4 for the Pelipper, but you specifically need +5 to one-shot the Altaria. Yeah. Altaria is hasty in English, so otherwise you actually do need +6 for the Altaria in the Japanese version. And
English is better.
Yeah, English is Basically, the main difference we haven't really talked about the difference between the regions in Gen 3. I think it's only Gen 3. I don't
Yeah,
think
only Gen 3.
Gen 4, but basically just the natures are different between the Pokemon, and I think it has to do with the way the algorithm generates them based on the language, because I think the algorithm takes input from the language. I can't remember. I always forget this, but Depom's do explain it one time. Anyway, so they're basically randomly generated, but they're not randomly generated, but I guess what I'm saying is the programmers didn't decide, oh, we want Altaria to be hasty. They just wrote an algorithm that took some junk data from elsewhere in the game and generates the same nature every time. So
They only started the I want this to be this nature in 4.
yeah. So now he's gonna go to Mount Fire though. And this is some of the trickier movement in the game too. This pretty much everything after and between Norman, roughly to like Pseudopolis, not Pseudopolis, probably to like Moss Deep, is some pretty technical movement.
So Burb gets more screen time because he's now being taught Fly, so now we can use that.
But yeah, and this is the other time save from we didn't really mention, but place to didn't randomly catch an early game flyer. Is Swablu on Route 114, which is just after Full Arbor. It's a 40% encounter rate, and it's guaranteed to get in a Great Ball one after a little bit of damage, but it also normally knows, I think it always knows 4 moves actually. Because it's like 14 to 16, level 14 to 16, so you save time teaching Fly to Wingull, because it only knows 3 moves, or 2 moves.
So there you saw me go the whole way over and enter Lily Cove City and then immediately leave it. That's to mark it so I can actually fly to it later on. After I go through this Mount Fire section, I'm going to have to fly to Slateport, and then I'm going to have to fly to Lily Cove. If I hadn't marked that, I'd have to go to just go to Fort Tree City and do that entire movement section again.
Yep.
Had to remember that trainer's on the left in this game because on Emerald he's on the right.
You mean that top Mount Fire?
Yeah.
Yeah. For some reason they changed that up.
So now we have Swampert, and the game gets a little bit easier, I guess. There's not as many ranges anymore, but...
The funny thing is, you have Swampert. So, you know, I mean, Marshtomp is broken, for sure. Like, when you compare, I mean, like, you know, you look at, like, Gen 4 or Gen 5, and maybe not Gen 5, but at least Gen 4. It's pretty close between Piplup and Chimchar, and in fact, I think Platinum uses Piplup and Pearl uses Chimchar, right?
Yeah, and Crafted's even rooted out Chimchar from Platinum just to see. But
yeah.
literally the only difference is like because of the amount of double battles in Platinum. Otherwise, Chimchar would probably be faster as well. Like the two are very, very close. Okay,
that's actually kind of interesting. So my point is, you know, you see that it's actually pretty close, and there's examples of Green is another good example. There's a Squirtle and a Charmander route, and they're pretty comparable.
Yeah.
But in Sapphire and Emerald, it is bar none. They clearly made easy, medium, hard, and Mudkip is easy. I mean, we're talking even casually. Like if you just take Mudkip and you're playing casually,
you are gonna have a way better time than your friend who chooses.
Yeah. I mean, and Torchic is actually kind of medium because Torchic does pretty, like Roxanne, as long as you get early double kick and you know just things like that. But Trico just gets. Although the Trico route that Xarian did in Emerald recently is actually pretty cool. I'd actually like to route Trico. Well, Robbie did do a Trico route. I don't know how refined it is, but Trico's probably struggles more in Sapphire than Emerald. But that's, I mean, everything is harder in Sapphire than Emerald. The main problem being that you have a lot less experience and a lot less money because there's less required fights, so. And this is pretty much perfect HP, I think.
I see someone saying no Turtwig love. Turtwig was my first ever Pokemon, so I love Turtwig, don't worry.
Yeah, this is...
That's Emerald muscle memory. Burb!
40 HP.
Burb is gonna take us down to Slateport City again, because this is where Team Aqua are now about to commit robbery.
Yeah.
So, Sturm is being interviewed for TV. because he's made a ship and stuff, and he's about to do great things.
Yeah.
But then Team Aqua decides, hey, that thing that you just spent ages working on, yeah, we're taking it for our own personal gain. So, because they're really, really nice people, and they're gonna go discover the exact same thing that he wanted.
Oh, nice. You talked to Gabby. Cool. I love Gabby.
So now Team Aqua is gonna run away. They're just gonna blatantly tell us where their base is, because, you know, they're really smart. That's where we're going, and we're about to hear, in my opinion, one of the best themes in the entire game. I absolutely adore the base theme.
That is pretty good.
So in the base, we are going to be collecting a Master Ball. In the most optimal route, you won't collect a Master Ball. There's a catch manip for Kyogre. It saves like 30 seconds or something if you get it first
Like
try.
40 seconds. Getting Master Ball is actually pretty slow. It's like 40 seconds.
So here's the best theme ever. I adore this. So this entire little bit here, well, you have to do this bit regardless, but going off to the left here and doing all this, you don't have to do any of this if you skip Master Ball. Like this entire wee bit is simply just to get the Master Ball. You don't need to do any of it, and you can see how it is pretty fast if you skip it. But the manip to get the YOLO Ball is pretty hard.
It's like a 3-frame window, and I suck. I never really practiced it. Who knows? Maybe if I go back, I mean, I probably would just try. If I'm actually do Sapphire attempts after the YOLO Ball manip, it's kind of it's the way of the world now with Pokemon speedruns.
There's something about the Aqua base that always feels really, really satisfying to me. Because it actually feels like you're sneaking around somewhere that you're not really supposed to be.
Yeah,
And, like,
that's
there's
true.
people walking about and they're trying to find you and stuff. It is actually really good, and it does add to the sense of, like, I'm not supposed to be here, but I'm here anyway. Trying to stop
It's also
you.
kind of a nice mental break later in the run because you can't run here, have to walk up, so it's very just kind of.
It is so, but it gives you a bit of time to relax, especially because the next segment that's coming up is really, really stupid and really hard.
Yeah, it's stressful. Well, I guess we should clarify. There's two types of hard in Pokemon. There's hard in terms of execution, because there is some hard execution in Pokemon. But the other type of hard is obviously just chance to win, which in this case, you know, we're maybe, I don't know, 70% to win a few of these upcoming. Well, not a few, but definitely the main, most important one. We're like probably like 70% to win. And it's also requires some decision making and things like that. But
I used the wrong move.
dude, no, at least he saved. But this is, you should reset because this is perfect.
No, I might live.
Oh damn, you took damage anyway. Fuck, he used Crunch. Are you kidding? Oh my god. Okay,
No, I
well
need
there
to
goes my
reset.
theory.
Okay, because then he used Swagger.
Okay, that's good because you got Crunch from Sharpedo. So the very next fight after this is a Xatu trainer, and a Xatu's only damaging move is Nightshade, and Nightshade always does the amount of damage that equal to your Pokemon's level, and the Xatu's level 37, so it will do 37 damage with him. So he needs to be obviously at least, and it's a 2-hit KO on the Xatu, I guess I should say. So so he only gives the Xatu one turn. Actually, does he get 2 turns because he outspeeds? I can't remember. Anyway.
Well, as you know,
No,
he
he
has
does.
Wish.
Yeah. Yeah, he does have Wish, but it doesn't. If he uses it, it doesn't matter because I don't know turns to pass. But yeah, he actually does get 2 turns because he outspeeds you. So you need to be at least 38 HP to survive, but you want Torrent for this fight. Torrent, in our case here, is going to be 43 HP, so we need between 38 and 43 HP. He used Crunch again! Oh my god. So what I'm getting at here is, the Sharpedo, you want between 38 and 43 HP so that you can both survive Nightshade, and you're in Torrent, and you are not in range to die to Sharpedo Crunch. crucially, because if you're not in range to die to Sharpedo's Crunch, it usually doesn't use Crunch, because as we were talking about earlier, you know, a Pokemon will favor damaging moves if you're at lower range, but certain AI actually only favors the damaging move if it can kill. So, I can't remember how much it does. Let me see. It does.
I'd look up, but I'm surfing it.
Pelipper, Skarmory, it does. Sharpedo does 28 to 33. So as long as you are in the range of HP that I was talking about, or from 38 to 43, then you live a Crunch, which means you shouldn't even get Crunch. And he knows like Focus Energy, so a lot of times he'll use Focus Energy. So in this case now, I mean, I don't know, you pretty much have to heal in the next menu. Do you have a Super Potion?
I do have a Super, yes.
Okay, so just Super before in the Repel menu, and also the Dive menu. Anyway, so yeah, so there's a lot of sort of nuances to your HP management in the late game here that really make or break. Both can lose a lot of time or can just cause you to die, because you also need to. I mean, setting up for this next gym fight is just it's madness. But so he does one last.
Ignore the fact I just didn't go and get Dive.
Oh yeah, you gotta get Dive. Don't forget Dive.
That's the wrong house. Cool. I've already used the Repel as well, so I'm gonna have to lose some stuff.
Oh no. Okay, that's fine, but yeah. So
the Max Repels are pretty lenient anyway. With some of it, I should be okay.
Yeah, you might not actually have to YOLO anything.
Because you want your Repel to wear off in the Cave of Origins. So.
Well, I guess I'm just saying because that's the wrong house. So yeah, so he gets Dive here from Steven, and it's actually faster to get Dive after because you have to take an extra menu. Now he's gonna actually have to take another menu to teach it, but you would combine. You don't need to use Dive in the field until this. Combine it with your Repel menu after this, but we're teaching it before Tate and Liza because we need Dive to win the fight. And we didn't always do this. This I always credit to Buster, who is a very, very skilled Japanese Pokemon speedrunner, who ran this game some years ago now. He doesn't really play it anymore, but I think does he have a record in English, Heart Gold, Soul Silver?
Yes, he does. He is he is top times in lots of English games. He's a very, very skilled runner.
Yeah, so I remember probably a couple years ago now watching him do runs and watching him get Dive early and teach it for this fight. And I remember thinking, I'm an idiot. How did I not think of this strat? Like, come on. But yeah, so he's got a 2K.
Buster's done a lot of things for a lot of the games. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
I have a lot of mad respect for him.
Yeah, oh yeah.
But oh boy, right, so this next fight, we're gonna need a lot of Kevin Turtles in the chat to win.
Yeah. So basically, there's Solrock and Lunatone. Solrock does slightly less with Psychic than Lunatone. Solrock knows Flamethrower, Psychic, Sunny Day, and Solar Beam.
Sunny Day is nearly always run over, by the way. I should stress that.
Yeah, Sunny Day is usually run over. Lunatone knows Psychic, Calm Mind, Light Screen, and Hypnosis. And so, as I said, they will favor damaging moves. If they can't kill you, then they will probably use one of their setup moves or one of their status moves, right? So you really don't want Sunny Day. So that's why we used to lead Cast Form. We used to switch Cast Form into slot 2 because we're trying to set up Rain Dance with Cast Form. It turns out that's actually not a very good idea. Each of the Pokemon is also 50-50 to target each of your Pokemon. So that means that if Solrock...
That's not great.
Yeah, I mean, so it's basically if Solrock targets Cast Form, Solrock actually cannot kill Cast Form with any of its moves. So that means that it will know that and it'll go, okay, well then I'll use Sunny Day. And so the worst combination is Solrock target Cast Form, Sunny Day. Lunatone target... Actually, worst outcome is actually double target Cast Form, because then if Lunatone targets Cast Form, Lunatone does kill with Psychic, so Lunatone will kill Cast Form, Solrock will use Sunny Day, and then you don't get up the sun to counter, you don't get up the rain to counteract the sun.
So the thing that just happened there was extremely unlucky. Solrock
What-
went to use
Oh,
Solar Beam, which it
yeah,
does
yeah.
quite a lot. That's not the bad part. But then
Yeah, you want
Lunatone
Solar
went for Hypnosis and hit, and that's bad. If I
Yeah.
to use the turn to heal, I would have just died the Solar Beam, so I was dead either
Yeah.
way.
Basically, he's gonna heal on the first turn. He wants to enter bait them to use a damaging move if they do target Swamp. But if they target Slave, they'll just kill Slave, and then he'll have to bring in Cast Form. And then if they target Cast Form, depending on if they can kill, may or may not use a well. I mean, Solrock can never kill Cast Form, but Lunatone I think always does, or he can't depend because his Cast Form stats are randomly generated. Obviously.
Oh, Solrock!
Oh, you. Oh,
That's unlucky.
what just happened?
My dogs are going mad right now. Holy god. Alright, I'm pretty
Oh.
sure. Yeah, I win. It's all good.
Yeah, this is good. So oh yeah, the other thing I would say is, oh, you actually got Psychic. Oh no, I
That
think
was
I
a
was
really
just
good
cooking
fight. It was unlucky that Solrock lived, but I won the fight either way.
Yeah, you actually just got double target on Cast Form. Crazy, man. Yeah, and yeah, okay, then that's the other thing too is, if Solrock uses Solar Beam, it cannot heal because it's locked. Its next turn is locked into, using Solar Beam. So yeah, that's why you want. We also say that the reason why is so that you can beam, because you see the charge and then it doesn't actually attack you until the next turn. So, what was I gonna say before that? Oh yeah. So he's level 38 here. He would be level 30. Get the rare candy in the desert, Lava Ridge, and so that does help his damage output a little bit. He's actually got a bad roll there, and so it was able to live. But
It was unlucky that Solrock lived. In most cases, it dies.
yeah, especially at level 38. Like that's actually really. Well, that's good, dude. Second try. Damn, this is like probably
Oh my god, my
run.
bell is worn off, and I've not even served it.
Just use another one now. I mean. Okay, and this is actually, I don't know, every time I've done Sapphire, I mean, my last one at PSR, actually, I got walled on TNL. What am I talking I literally got walled on TNL, so, and I lost probably like 20 minutes. This is probably gonna, yeah, this is, so, I mean, I'm not gonna jinx it, but this is actually a pretty good pace.
I had to stop myself from singing like all of the songs.
Oh yeah, this is pretty good music too.
Just this entire generation has phenomenal. It just has a great soundtrack. I love it.
Yeah. So yeah, this is C4 Cavern. This is basically the last section that we're gonna use Swampert on at all.
Yeah, we have 2 more fights with Swampert.
Yeah, and this is where, I mean, your HP management going into art is very important, but it's tough because it depends on the move Shelly uses, and it depends on what kind of fight you get coming out of TNL. We say TNL, but it's Kate and Liza, basically. Did you say that? I can't remember if you said that. We just call them TNL. But...
I don't know. I'm gonna save for Shelly just in case.
Yeah, it's not a bad idea.
My HP, I don't know what's about to happen. I might live.
What's your HP right now?
36.
Ooh, okay, so Mighty on a takedown is 31 to 36.
Why do my notes say crunch 34 to 40?
Oh yeah, I mean, wait, for Mighty Anna? Mighty Anna
Oh wait,
does-
no, for Sharpedo.
Yeah, for Sharpedo it's 34 to 40, yeah.
Okay, right. Killed me.
And then Mighty Anna.
I'm just gonna go out and potion. And that way, yeah, then it'll knock me into Torrent, actually. That's a good idea.
Wait, potion before what?
Potion before Shelly.
Oh, okay.
Because then Sharpedo hits me.
Yeah, because otherwise you have to... Yeah, I don't know. 31. Yeah, you're at 36. Oh, and you took a crunch. Oh, you died. Oh.
Oh, and then of course this time he uses taunt. Cool.
Yeah, well, that's because you low rolled. So yeah, I didn't point that out. But basically, the way that the opponent knows if it can kill you is it simulates a damage roll before, like, when it's selecting its moves. So even if a move can kill you, like he's at 38, he's at 36 HP right now. And you said that you got taunt, right?
Yeah, taunt twice.
So, wait, no, you're at 56 now. So and because you healed, you actually. But when he was at 36, he could still get crunch. Or I'm sorry, he could still get taunt, even though crunch could kill if the roll that the AI simulated was 34 or 35, because it does 34. But he's at 36. So, but if it simulates 36 or higher, it's. And the interesting thing is, then when it uses the move, it actually rolls again. So it doesn't use the roll that is simulated. So he could actually select the move because it can kill, but then you can still live. So let's say he rolls a 36 and you're at 36 and he goes, oh, it can kill, he'll use it. He can still roll 34 or 35 and you can live. You're not like
TLDR, they are dirty cheaters. You shouldn't be allowed to do that.
Who, what?
You shouldn't be allowed to do calcs before they hit. They're dirty cheaters.
I mean,
right, another safety save. Archie.
So what are you at again? You're at like 56 or you're at like
57, I think.
Okay, that's good HP. So
oh,
you
52,
just
never mind, you're both wrong.
I mean, you know what you're doing here. You know what you're doing.
Yeah.
This is pretty much the only fight that I take credit for, because everything that I routed in like 2015 just got completely obsolete. So like, this is the only thing that we still do that I came up with. But this is an extremely simple fight. I think anybody can come up with this strat. We used to literally just spam Surf because we were noobs. But you know what we're gonna try and do is manipulate Torrent. When I say manipulate, I mean obviously you're gonna try and take damage. You're not RNG manipulating, but you're trying to take damage. Strategically.
Well, what I've done in this case is, because my Iena didn't hit me, I'm setting up my X speed on Crobat instead.
Exactly.
Well,
wait.
Crobat hits me twice.
Actually, you don't want to take.
I really should have done that.
Yeah, you don't want. You'll die. I think yeah.
I do know what his narrative, you're right.
Because in this case,
okay,
in Japanese, you outspeed the Crobat at +1 speed. You need the X speed to outspeed the Sharpedo. But even at +1, you're actually outsped by the Crobat. So, and the Crobat does, I think it's like 30 to 36 or something.
Yeah, I really need to put that in my notes because I don't actually have.
It's 21 to. You honestly should just use Xarian's. He has every single defensive range in the game. I just use his notes. I don't even use his notes. I just use the damage rolls, because I could do the damage rolls myself. But Crobat, yeah, it's 28 to 34.
I always forget the guard spec is so high up in this fight. It's insane.
Yeah, this is one of the first things you buy.
It's the second one on my slot because I don't have any potions.
Anyway, so he's gonna set up two X specials and an X speed, and he has to set up the guard spec because Mightyena has Scary Face, and this is another interesting aspect to the AI.
They don't recognize guard specs.
Well, not just that, but he spams Scary Face because you outspeed him. So, I mean, he's literally like 9 and 10 to use Scary Face. He also has obviously really bad. But
oh my god!
Did you get takedown?
Crobat crit me.
No, did you get air cutter?
No, that's the annoying part.
Oh, you got wing attack critical? Dude, this is how Crafted has lost 2 emerald runs.
I know. And Shiri's lost one too.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. Sapphire, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. Damn, wing attack. Anyway, so the interesting thing is, even though Sharpedo resists Surf, a +2 Torrent Mystic Water boosted Surf because keeping in mind we also have Mystic Water, and Mystic Water, you know, similar to soft sand, will raise your. Oh, you took takedown. You actually takedown.
I had absolutely no
Mystic
choice
Water.
but to heal there.
Oh, what'd you do? Yeah, I guess so. Yeah. Now, I mean, I guess you can just do it.
Now it means I can X speed him.
Yeah, but you probably get.
It probably won't kill. I don't know. This is
Well, no,
why.
it's just. Yeah, you want to X speed, but what'll happen is you might not go. You might still not get into Torrent. Probably Supersonic, or he actually gets confused right now.
42.
42 is Torrent.
Pretty sure it's exactly Torrent.
Yeah, it's exactly Torrent.
Hey, skill. All skill. I have no
Nice.
surf PP.
Okay. Cool. Oh.
This has happened before, hold on.
I mean, you just use dive, I guess. Yeah. I mean, how many times did you miss on? Your PP is actually pretty close. I mean, so there's various ways. You guys, chat. You're kind of seeing the limitations of the route, or just sort of the restrictions that are on the route. You don't really have. I mean, not only can you not buy PP healing items, but you can't really take.
What the hell?
Yeah,
you
it's-
bro.
You can't really take any Pokemon centers throughout the run because you are using. You're keeping your respawn or your teleport point in Petalburg, so and you don't really get any free heals in Gen 3.
At least not in Sapphire, you get loads in Emerald.
Yeah, you actually do get a couple of them. So that was a good fight. That was a good fight. What he would have wanted to do is be able to torrent surf with Sharpedo, and he would. But that's okay. So anyway, but then depending on the variance that you get in the fight, based on misses as well as missing the range. Although you crit the swallow, I mean you didn't lose. Oh, you didn't. You had to surf the Skarmory twice because you didn't have torrent.
Yeah.
And then I'm trying to think, you probably double surf the Zatu. You can actually surf.
Yeah, as well as
strength
I
the
maybe
Zatu.
should have surf dived it.
Well, no, you can surf strength.
Oh, okay. Good to know.
Yeah, then that's another way to save a surf PP. There's various ways. Also, obviously, depending on your TNL fight, you can end up using surf.
Yeah,
Did
I
you
think I
double
have
surf
used
Shelly's
extra
Sharpedo?
rolls to heal.
Did you double surf Shelly's Sharpedo?
No, I died one.
Because that's another one. That's another one. You normally want to surf strength, obviously. Actually,
Oh no,
I
I
think
know,
you
I
did
do surf strength. It's all good.
So there's just little things like that.
But hey, this is why we play it. We learn.
But
And then we
is he gonna make estimate? He may or may not make estimate. Doesn't, then it's really not gonna be that far off. I mean, 150 right now. I'm trying to think. I mean, we're pretty close. I mean, I honestly, even though I have a slightly better time, only slightly, honestly. I usually give an estimate of 230 for Sapphire when I do marathons. But that's just because I do not trust the game. I think 220 is a very reasonable estimate, but I think
It's a reasonable estimate for not a very reasonable game.
Yeah.
I died on the wrong side of that rock. No,
Yeah, it's okay.
reset.
Anyway, so I mean, what's up with the Kyogre incentive?
Oh, I
Or what's the
nearly had
nickname?
Satopolis perfect. Nearly.
Yeah, this is some hard movement actually.
Satopolis movement I just did there before you talk to these guys is very, very hard.
Oh, nice. Oh, you only bonked once.
But for the Kyogre, I personally manipulate stats. I
Oh, yeah,
don't
that's good.
manipulate the catch.
Yeah.
For my
And
standard
actually, I
of
will-
play, catch manip's not really worth it.
I actually don't know where the stats are. But basically, I think it's like a 4-frame window.
I believe it's free. Three, not free. I did not mean to say free.
No, it's 4. Because there's like a hardy, hasty, calm, and modest. Or mild. But anyway, we didn't really explain how the manip works. Like I said, the seed defaults to the same one. Excuse me. Every time you soft reset because we have a dead battery. But the game generates the stats of Pokemon in question predictably every single frame. Yeah. Every single frame after soft reset. So he'll press AB starts on the DS, and it will do a soft reset, and he'll then time his confirmation of Mudkip, or in this case Kyogre, to get. I'm pretty sure you can repel here, because your last repel wears off like right before the end of Victory Road.
I probably could have, but oh well. It's over now. I am now doing the manipulation to hopefully get a good Kyogre.
Yeah, and Kyogre stats are set on the frame that you clear the last text box.
That text box there where it says the blue orb is reacting, that's whenever I press A.
Yeah.
To try and get a good one.
Yeah. He also just got Waterfall, so we'll use that for to get to Elite Four.
So we YOLO balled our Master Ball.
Yeah.
Right. Let's see. Splash! Exclamation mark.
Splash exclamation mark is the winner of the Big War.
Nice.
Splash. Where's this? Okay, I know what Kyogre this is.
You do.
I got the really good special attack. It's the quiet one.
Oh, you got Quiet?
So this Kyogre has amazing special attack, but its speed really, really sucks.
Okay, I'll walk you through Galaxia, because this is gonna be Oh, no, well, you already know this, because you.
This is what my 308 had.
I mean, but you checked out Exarian's notes after that last Glacia.
Do not teach Aerial Ace. That's not the move we want. Oh my god. Don't give me a stupid encounter in like 5 minutes that I have.
Yeah, now's a good time for donation.
Okay, we have a $20 donation from Deme. No comment, but thank you very much for the donation. Reminder that a lot of the upcoming runs do have a lot of incentives that still need just a little more of a kick, so this would be a really good time to throw some money. It's going to a phenomenal cause. The Trevor Project is an amazing, amazing, fantastic charity. Trevor has worked to save the lives of many people. They have many platforms for where you can call, chat, just to help queer youth. It's really important, and I encourage you very strongly to donate.
Pipe.
So now we have the final gym fight. This Wallace is a water type gym leader. Thankfully we have Shockwave, which will be used quite a bit. Not getting X speed here because my speed sucks. For some reason. You don't X speed if you lower speed, but yeah.
Right. And then you.
I just realized I didn't give Kyogre a Pearson Berry, so we're really lowering this Wallace fight.
Yeah, I didn't ask, but so normally you want to equip a Persian Berry, which cures confusion and all of his folks know Water Pulse. Luckily, you actually got Water Pulse from the Love Disc. I think Water Pulse is only 10% to confuse, but the Love Disc also knows Sweet Kiss, which automatically confuses.
Yeah, which is guaranteed.
Yeah.
Trivia, in my PB of this game, I got 3 Water Pulses, 1 from Love Disc, 1 from Seeking, and 1 from Milotic. All 3 of them confused me.
Oh, seriously?
And it's only like a 10% chance to get confused, so...
Yeah.
If someone who likes Mars, calculate the odds of that and get back to me.
Yeah. Also, the Love Disc has Swift Swim, so I don't think it would outspeed you. Actually, it might, because you have your...
It outspeeds most things.
Yeah. Well, but I'm saying it wouldn't if you didn't. You automatically put up the range, so it automatically gets its Swift Swim boost, which is kind of ironic, but...
Oh, I thought that was a crit on Milotic. That would have been so good. Oh, but Milotic crit me. That works. Oh no! I got confused. It's okay.
Yeah.
We're
It's
still
fairly
fine,
likely
never
to
mind.
get confused here, I would say. Just because so many of them have. Oh damn! Did you get recover?
Yeah. Oh, you know, we've tons of oh wow, okay. Hit myself again.
Oh no. Yeah, I forgot it has.
Snapped out. Crit! Do it! Oh. Do you dare? We
We're
win!
good. Yeah, this is definitely we're not as tight on our healing items for most of the run. Because of your money, pretty tight, and so you really have to be regimented about when you're gonna heal. Don't really have a lot of leeway,
I am
but
going to be healing after this though.
yeah, I mean, yeah, in this case we definitely want to heal, but I mean, you have like 6 hypers to get you through the rest of the game.
Well, I have
so.
5 because I bought full heals. I just realized I bought full heals. What was I doing?
Full heals are good. I mean, no, it's good. It's not a bad idea to buy full heals. That's normally what I do.
No, it's the fact I sat and I fought through. Oh, I'm a good runner.
Oh,
I
you
swear.
had full heals. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, that's okay though.
That fly menu from Sootopolis to Moss Deep is actually really, really difficult. I very rarely get it.
You mean where it's just like you real quick go. Yeah, it's kind of hard to just
Hyper
go.
potion. We're gonna give the Misty.
Oh, make sure to yeah, you got as long as you do this for it.
And
So
Max Repel. I nearly forgot to Max Repel.
so now that we don't need Swampert, obviously give the Mystic Water to Kyogre, so he boosts his water type moves with the rain as well as Mystic Water. An interesting thing to note is that obviously rain text is extremely slow, but even with all of that, Kyogre is still faster than if you were to just take Swampert through the Elite Four. We've tried to route it.
Don't get like destroyed by the E4.
Honestly, like it's not that bad, but you have to go out of your way to get like Ice Beam. You have to get more rare candies, obviously, and also another thing I didn't point out. He did use a rare candy on the Kyogre that he picked up that rare candy at the top of Mount Pyre before he flew. We used to use that rare candy for Swampert, but we switched to using it for Kyogre because it actually helps a ton of the ranges by a little bit.
It also allows you to see your stats without having to go in and check them.
That's true. That's true. So now we're Victory Road.
So Heinz, I'm just gonna give you a little bit of an insight, and everyone, and this will make more sense to you than to the people in chat. But
Okay.
this Kyogre is so slow that Wally's Gardevoir outspeeds it.
Oh, I was wondering about that. Yeah. Probably want to.
What'd you say?
'Cause
Sorry, your
you can-
microphone cut out there.
You probably want to save for Wally, right? You should stay because you probably do because if you didn't get Max Elixir, right?
No. Oh, right
So-
now fast double.
So if you, yeah, so you, I mean, you can either lose to double team or calm mine. You could also just die.
Why did I open up the timer? I wanted to know that.
What's after this anyway?
Pardon?
What game is after this?
I am not sure.
Coming up next, we have Dust and Elysian Tale.
Oh, that's right, nice.
Super cool run. Wouldn't miss it.
Super cool. Claydol, super hype, definitely. Luckily, I mean, you see all these folks like through Victory Road, Kyogre, just most of them are weak to water, except for the Roselia, but you have Ice Beam for that. The PP route for Kyogre used to be a little bit tighter. Actually, I guess it was less tight.
Really? It's already pretty tight.
Well, it's actually not that. It's actually used to be less tight because you would get the max elixir because it was so tight that you couldn't manage anyway. So you would just use the max elixir to heal all your PP anyway. And the reason being that you have 10
speeds.
Oh, what? Okay. Well,
Confuse, right?
that's okay. Oh, you got confused from Ninetales?
It's okay, I just got lucky. That's all.
But basically, you have 10 Ice Beam PP, and there's 11 Pokemon in the late game. Kind of need Ice Beam for. But actually, so basically, we used to get the max elixir to heal all of our Ice Beam PP about halfway through the Elite Four. But then when we started using the rare candy on Kyogre, it turned out that we got just enough more damage on a Cacturn coming up, which is a grass type, so it does resist water, but because we have that extra level, you're actually able to kill Cacturn with a Surf or a Hydro Pump. In this case, we have really good special attacks, we can easily kill it with a Surf, because we have Rain Boost and Mystic Water, so even though it resists, we're able to use a resisted move to kill it, and so we can save the Ice Beam that we would use on Cacturn, and then we have just, perfect 10, and then we don't need the max elixir, so that saves, I'm not sure, maybe like 10 seconds to not get the max elixir, but, so he didn't get the max elixir, but.
I'd love to point out that even though the guy right here was like, I've made it here so many times, the last turn is just so strong, but he literally has to walk up like 20 tiles. He's out.
Yeah.
Like, he's a professional.
Yeah, and you don't even, it's not even like a flash area, you don't even need flash, so. He's just blind.
How can you see without flash? This is cheating. I'm just a big cheater. You guys caught me. I just like to point out, I absolutely adore Wally's team.
Yeah, well,
It's just a shame that Roserade hadn't been invented yet, because that would have made his team like a serious force to be reckoned with.
Yeah, that's true. Roselia is kind of just kind of boring when you say. I mean, it's a cool. Okay, you're really gonna have like a level 50 Roserade, like, or a Roselia, like. Also, you can the funny thing is he actually only needs 8 Ice Beams because your special attack is so good that you can actually.
Oh my god, your microphone is great. What can I do?
You don't actually need all of your Ice Beams. You can just surf both the Flygons because your special attack is so high.
Oh yes, surfing Flygon, yeah. Cool.
Yeah. So
even
saves you
if Shiftry like screws me a wee bit, I can.
exactly. Or if you get screwed by if you get Protect from Shellgun.
Double team from Guard Flower. And we missed Surf. Woo. That's not a big deal as long as we hit this one. It doesn't really matter. Good. Okay, and it's not a big deal. We can just substitute another waterfall.
Yeah, just make sure that you waterfall the Glalie, and actually, well, yeah, then you maybe want to be careful
I was just thinking on Steven. I just need to be a bit more careful.
Yeah, but I mean, even leading up to Steven, you need to make sure that Steven.
Your microphone is cutting out a lot. I think it's like background filter.
Did it just start connecting? I'm pretty sure it's not my microphone. I think it's.
Discord's just a great thing.
But no, you just have to make sure that you have 2 surfs for Steven. So.
Let's see. After my yen, I need 1, 2, 3. I need 3 after my yen. So my PP is, after all of this text goes away, 9. So that's 8, 7, 6, 5, 4. I'm sweet. I should have enough.
Oh, you want to X speed on Sydney actually?
Really?
Yeah.
I've never X-speeded on this guy before. I just kind of accept that I'm gonna get outsped by 2 things.
Well,
okay, now I see why I wanted to X-speed.
Did you get swagger?
Yep.
Yeah, that's
But it's all good, because Absol just doesn't move very much, so if I can just heal it here.
Yeah.
Absol generally goes for like embargo or something. It's a really stupid move. It doesn't.
I think it usually does snatch, but.
I still have both of my heal powders from Lava Rage.
Oh, you do? So you should have 5 then?
Yeah.
Or 5.
Well, I have 4
heals.
now, but. If I know, I think I have 6, because I don't even think I used the other one either.
You can also use your prisms to heal the confusion.
Yeah, true. Well, I'm pretty sure I had 6 because I don't even think I used the full heal from Rival either.
Oh yeah. Damn, you're outsped by Shiftry.
Yeah, Shiftry really sucks.
Oh, you hit the ice beam. Alright, that's legit. Yeah, so as you guys can see, having minus speed, he's a quiet nature. I mean, probably most people are pretty familiar with Pokemon, but nature's boost by 10% one stat and lower another by 10%, and quiet boost special attack and lower speed. So you don't really want minus. You definitely don't want minus special attack. Minus speed is honestly arguably worse, but you know, because we're in a marathon.
Although the good thing about this one is there's literally no ranges anymore. I can destroy everything with Scoagogo.
Yeah.
This is so freaking. And it has like 170 special attack or something ridiculous.
Yeah. Yeah, you can do the X special on Sapphire. Actually, you can probably almost one-shot the second Dusclops anyway. Actually, I think it's like a 50-50.
One I'm not about to take.
Yeah, I think it's 50-50 at 31 plus special.
Especially because if I missed it, I'd have to use another surf.
Yeah.
211 right now. I'm probably gonna go overestimate just a bit, but...
Barely.
Assuming Glacier is nice.
Well, yeah, so remember then, you do X special, X speed, and then surf the Glalie. And I think that should kill. So it only has one chance to.
Yeah.
So Phoebe is pretty much. I mean, Sydney and Phoebe are both pretty. Especially because we use the rare candy, so it helps with ranges on Sharpedo, which is a range with some more special attack with Shockwave, as well as Shiftry. I think can be if it's kind of like really bad neutral special attack. But Glacia is easily the toughest in the Elite Four, and basically it's because she has Hail, which counteracts your Rain, so it takes away your Yeah, you lose your boost on her Glalie, and also her first Glalie knows Light Screen, which severely hampers your special attack damage output, and so ideally you outspeed her, and if you do outspeed her, then you still have your rain boost before she can use Hail, so you can just knock her out, and none of her other, she has another Glalie, and the other one doesn't have Light Screen, but because he's outsped, if she uses, she'll use Hail every time, and...
Not Crunch though, I didn't get Light Screens.
That's good, that's perfect.
So now I'm just gonna X Special twice on Celio, I think.
Exactly, yeah. Actually, you just want to X Special once on the first Celio, and once on the second.
Special one. Sir.
And so he wouldn't be able to knock out the Glalie at +0 because he loses his rain boost, so he has to take 2 turns, one to boost his speed and one to boost his special, and then she'll use Hail, and then on the other turn of his setup on the Glalie, she has 1 chance to use Light Screen. Luckily he got Crunch, otherwise he would have lost a lot, maybe not a lot of time. He just would have finished his setup on Glalie, and then probably even had a 2-hit KO with Shockwave or something.
And the Celio continued to heal for some reason instead of hitting me. Because they're really smart.
Wait, used Hail?
Yeah, Celio used heal. Second one.
What? Hail was already up though, right? Oh no, Hail went down.
No, it used another one.
No, I know. What I'm saying is the second Celio doesn't have Body Slam. So that's why you set up the second or the third X special on the second Celio. So did you get Body Slam? You got Body Slam from the first Celio, right?
No, he used Surf.
No. Somebody show me the VOD. There's no way. I don't think it knows Surf.
It used Surf, I swear.
No, there's no way.
You'll see whenever the VODs go up. It
So
used Surf.
Who's checking the VOD for me? The first Celio always used. Alright, we'll check it later. That's crazy.
What did the first
If that's
Celio
true,
use?
that's crazy. I wasn't looking, that's crazy. Because normally it's just troll as all hell from the first Celio, because you try and knock out the first Glalie, or the lead Glalie, so that you can avoid Light Screen troll, but then you have to set up 3 X specials in order to one-shot the Walrein. Damn, that's lucky.
Thank you,
that's crazy. I
Aquatic
didn't even know it knew Surf. Like, are you kidding me? What? Alright, Marathon luck, cool.
1, 2, 3,
Anyway.
5. I need 5 ice
Anyway,
buttons.
so that's really lucky though. But normally, yeah, you really don't want. You want to set up as little as possible on the first Celio, because it can just Body Slam para you, and so you'll heal. It'll spam Body Slam. I swear it spams Body Slam. I've never done it. That's crazy. Actually, I would love to know the stats for this Kyogre, because it probably has to do with your. Well, no, but you didn't have Rain up, so Surf. That has to just be probably like a 1 in 100 to use Surf. That's crazy. So this Shelgon has Rock Tomb, so it'll lower your speed, and it favors using Rock Tomb because it knows that you're faster. But it also has Protect. For some reason, it spams Protect in Emerald, even though your Rayquaza is faster, obviously. And I think it still has Rock Tomb. But you set up. I'm pretty sure you set up on the Shelgon in Emerald, but in this game. In this game, I mean, it always uses Rock Tomb, but if it uses Protect, then you lose an Ice Beam, which, as I was saying, is kind of bad, because you have exactly 10 Ice Beams. In this case, he has some flexibility because he's able to surf these Flygons, but he really doesn't want to, necessarily, because...
I don't need to, I have enough.
Yeah.
But if I did
Well,
need to, I
well,
would
you have
like
enough,
to.
but I'm just not sure what your surf BP is, so you may as well just save the surf. But it saves super effective attacks if you surf the Flygons. They take neutral damage from water as opposed to being weak to ice, which is very minor. Anyway, my point is, if you are really tight on Ice Beams and you get Protect from Shelgon, then it can be potentially bad, obviously. Because then you have to go for a surf range on the Flygons. If you miss the range, they can use Sandstorm, and then it's very slow. You take a lot of damage. But that's the main reason why you use an XP, not only to outspeed everything else, but also because Flygons will lose you a lot of time if they use Sandstorm.
Here we go.
Yeah.
Kevin Turtles, let's go.
Yeah. Last
Time
fight,
for
so.
Steven. Last fight. Best thing.
Hey, no, you're literally about to make estimate. This is good. You won't. You'll be like a minute.
I'll miss it by like a minute.
Yeah. Because time stops at when you enter Hall of Fame. So.
Yeah, whenever the screen goes black after Hall of Fame, I'll call whenever time is coming up and whenever it's happened. Spikes, thank you, Skarmory.
Oh yeah, Spike's nice. Yeah, so the Skarmory knows Toxic, which is the worst thing that it can use.
It has Toxic?
Yeah.
This is how much I know about the game. This is why Heinz
Yeah.
is here. I have 7th place, and yet I still don't know half this stuff.
That's because people wrote, rounded the game for years.
Yeah, who needs
Here we
writing
are.
whenever you can steal someone else's route and run it?
Yeah,
That's literally what I did.
Yeah, that is the definition of new age Pokemon speedrunning. But I mean, there's no point to route it yourself now. There's probably some new stuff to be implemented, like Manip. It's pretty much just Manip City now. So if you want to really improve on any of the routes, you have to.
Dude, this thing has 196 special right now.
Damn.
To the point where Waterfall might actually kill Cradily.
Yeah, that's actually probably a good point.
I'd be interested in calcing that actually. I'm gonna do that after. We should do that.
Yeah.
Just sit and calc.
Yeah, it's
Maybe not Metagross, but definitely
Oh,
Cradily.
pretty close. Wait, you said you have 196?
Yeah, 196.
52. Six at 52.
Yeah, I'm literally gonna miss Esther by like 30 seconds, I think.
This was a pretty good run. Honestly,
For a
This is-
marathon
this
run,
is-
this is actually really good because it showcased like a lot of stuff that can go wrong, a lot of stuff that can go right. Showcased all the strats. Slap this Kyogre. This baby can sweep any Elite Four
Yeah.
that you need it to. This baby can fit so much freaking X special into it. Time is coming up as soon as the screen goes black after this segment here.
oh my god, I think it is guaranteed.
And time. I'm happy with that.
Yeah, good job, dude. Yeah, 30. Yeah, I mean, like I said, about a minute over. It's all good,
I'm actually really curious. Let's see what my end time was. 2:20:52.
Dude.
Only 52 seconds over estimate. Ah,
Yeah, that's really good.
I'm really, really pleased with this.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was Pokemon Sapphire. If you're willing to learn something and stick to it, and can cope losing runs to kind of stupid stuff, I highly recommend running this. Because it is so fun, and it's super rewarding.
Yeah, Gen 3 in general. I mean, if you don't want to play Sapphire, play Emerald.
Yeah.
I think Emerald is, especially right now, nowadays, Emerald is hot, so.
So yeah, super thrilled to show that off. Thanks for having me.
Yeah. Thanks for doing it.
And big shout out to Heinz for helping me commentate.
Bringing the hype, I love the game, so.
thank you two so much for an amazing run and some amazing commentary.
Sure.
Next, we have Dust and Elysian Tale with Laurie D. Bunnykins. It's going to be incredible. Definitely keep watching.